A few minutes. So, all right. Are we live on everything?
3, 2, 1, and hold your horses.
Who knows? Okay. Indeed, we're getting live. It's percolating through the interwebs, people. It's percolating.
Just went live on YouTube.
It's time for the percolator.
I see
It's time for the
some-
percolator.
Are you old? You're not old enough to remember those coffee commercials with a. Boop, 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 and it was like. Doot, 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 doot. I can't remember how it went, but
yeah. I think that's what they did for.
tastes like fresh perked.
Yeah, I think that's maybe
Yeah.
what they were sampling for. It's time for the percolator. That song. Yeah. Boop, boop, boop. Okay. Are we ready? I guess. Mr. Mac, you ready?
Time to make the donuts.
Mr. Ian, are you ready?
Oh, I was born ready.
We were born ready. All right. Howdy, boys and girls. Welcome to a very special 5-year anniversary episode of our humble show. So, I am your host, Rocky. This is Eric,
Hi.
co-host, Eric. We're both hosts.
I didn't say my usual one.
Oh, because it's not a normal show.
I'm breaking
right.
the mold, guys.
Oh, it's all broken. Today, special treat. You done with your force powers?
I'm done with that.
Okay.
That was so last season. I'm
I
not doing
know,
that again.
it's horrible. The Dalmore Cigar Malt. We got this one from our friend Jonathan King, and we've been waiting to try this one. Ian specifically said that we were not allowed to do the sampling on the show until it was a show that he was on. So we have held on to this one for a very special occasion, and what better occasion than the 5-year anniversary of our show. So
for anybody who didn't catch that, we have both Mac and Ian in the studio with us. So they each get their own little corner cam.
woo, there's Mac.
There's Mac, and
And-
there's Ian.
Look, there's both of them. So wonderful.
Hello, everyone.
For those
Just need a couple more. We can do the Brady Bunch.
who don't know, we started doing these shows back in, what was it, 2017?
2017.
Whatever, 5 years ago, essentially today or a couple days ago. I think it was the 17th.
I think the original was lost, but the second and third shows that we ever did are on
On the
YouTube,
YouTubes.
and they
tell
are
people.
a spunky load of noodles. Let me tell you.
A little bit more. That's delicious.
It was, holy cats.
Yeah, well, we're going to do it. Let's do it right.
You know what that color makes me think of? Cigars.
Interesting. Very good. All right, Mr. Matt, if you would come over, since they're all packed in back there. I'm going to hand these two to Matt to give to Ian and Mac. There we go. And Mr. Eric, you can get that one.
Thank you.
And while we are passing that around, let's do the what tartans we have on. So, Mr. Mac, Mr. Ian, they're back there behind the camera. What tartans do you guys have on today?
I have on the Leinster Crest Tartan.
Okay, very good. I don't know if we have any images of that to show on the
I
screen.
don't know.
Okay, if we don't, then we don't. Mr. Ian, what tartan do you have on today?
I planned ahead and wore it up here as well. I have on the Celtic
just
Nations
No,
muted
slash.
tartan.
Muted.
Very nice. It looks lovely. Mr. Eric, what do you have on today?
I'm wearing a state tweed and paisley,
Ooh.
just to annoy you.
Everything you do annoys me.
Wow. Wow.
The,
How long was it though? I think of Morgan Freeman. Little did they know it also be their last show, in addition to their 5-year show.
all right, today, in honor of the 5-year anniversary show, I am wearing the Kilts and Culture tartan here on
Yep.
me. Yes,
Yep.
indeed. All right, so we're going to do some tasting notes for the Dalmore. Mr. Mac, do you have the tasting notes?
I
The Dalmore
do.
Cigar Malt.
Yes. So the description. This is right from the box. It's a perfect accompaniment of the finest cigar. This single malt is matured in American white oak ex-bourbon casks. Yeah. So
Tusalim Oloroso.
Sherry
Sherry
Cask
Cask,
and
yeah.
Cabernet
Yeah.
Sauvignon.
hey, it's on the screen too.
Cabernet
Barracks.
Sauvignon.
Look at that.
Yes, lovely. Yes, I don't know what any of that means.
So
They put it in different stuff. They put it in
Okay.
different barrels.
there's a couple of aroma notes here.
Okay.
Let you see what you come up with before I give you anything.
I have that like sweet tobacco-y smell
Mm-hmm.
on it, so I'm definitely I get why it's the cigar malt. I definitely get that sweet sweetness.
It is very
My
sweet. And
my,
it is-
my first smell, I was just getting. I just smelled like the standard Dalmore in this very similar looking bottle. But yeah, I've been sitting here with it for several minutes now. I'm starting to pick up on those same like sweet tobacco notes you mentioned.
Yeah, swirl it around a little bit. Open it up.
I already like it. I can tell you that.
Yeah,
It's
Hard to go
really
wrong with
delicious
Dalmore.
nose.
yeah.
So, according to them, it is an aroma of cinnamon, vanilla, and red fruits.
Just red ones.
Just the red,
All the
just
red
the red
ones.
ones.
All the red ones.
Why not?
What's your
Very-
What's your favorite fruit?
very-
Red.
Is it like red 40?
Prickly pear.
Pomegranate. All right. They'll do a sippy sip.
Glad we brought our sippy cups.
Get a little nipple on top there. It's definitely sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that would go well with a cigar though.
Yeah, I'm getting it.
Kind of contrasts with that.
Yeah.
I think
We
it
should have
has.
brought some. Did you bring cigars?
I wish I would have known. I would have for this one. But it kind of has that burniness of where cigar hits too,
It is burning.
on certain like. Yeah.
I'm sorry. It's peppery. It's peppery.
But well,
It's gotta burn.
do you want it to let you know what the tasting notes say?
Sure.
All right, so tropical fruits. This one's great. Banana, because that works well for me.
Yeah.
Toffee.
Banana is a tropical fruit.
If Mac dies
redundant.
halfway through the show, it's 'cause there's
Then
banana in
vanilla
this.
ice cream.
Oh, okay. Now we're just being ridiculous.
So did somebody have a sundae before they
And then
drink this? Or?
the finish, orange zest. I'll give them a little bit on the orange zest.
Yeah.
Dark chocolate
Okay.
and crushed spice.
I would like dark chocolate with
What
this.
spice?
This would be like one of the things that if you know someone who doesn't like scotch so much or doesn't never really tried it, if you give them a little piece of chocolate, let that melt in their mouth and let them sip scotch, it adds to the whole experience. So I could absolutely see dark chocolate with this.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was great.
Should have got a box of Wilbur Buds.
Yeah.
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 Dan Wilbur and his
The
buds.
the toffee really comes through for me, which is very pleasant.
What you're saying? You're talking about dark chocolate and orange zest. And well, why aren't we just drinking Grand Marnier then? That'd be weird to drink on its own, though. I think.
A little burny. I cut it with a touch of water.
Lord, I
I did. Yeah.
was trying to play by your rules. I didn't cut it yet.
I'm sneaky Pete this show. It's all off the rails. It's a 5-year show. Yeah.
I like it quite a bit.
The cutting it with the water definitely brought it down a little bit. Not much, but a little bit. It brought it down. Mac, Ian, any
I like-
other?
I like it quite a bit.
Mm.
Hard to go wrong with Dalmore. So the Dalmore is a 12-year that comes in a very similar looking bottle. Is my standard. Like, if I'm only gonna have one, my desert island Scotch, if you will, is like the Dalmore 12-year or whatever abouts. I don't know the exact
Yeah, the
number of
regular,
years.
the Dalmore,
And
whatever
yeah,
it is. Yeah.
yeah. So this was a good one. I was looking forward to trying this one. I remember the day that a young Jonathan King came in, and brought that to us. He drove like 10 hours through the night from Detroit.
Right.
To
Oh,
get
Get
here,
here
to be here
at
at
opening.
in the middle
Middle
of
of
January.
January.
Now,
Wow, that's impressive.
if you like the Dalmore that much, the regular
one.
one, not having it side by side to compare, is this better or worse than the traditional Dalmore?
It's
Standard.
It's
about the
same,
same,
but
but I am enjoying how different it is.
Okay.
You know,
Like,
like
I'd
I'd rather have
this
this
than
than
that,
that, but only because I'm having a new experience.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the answer is yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say
it's better or worse though.
Okay.
It's on par different.
Yeah.
Got it. All right. Scoring them. Mr. Mac, what do you give this? Score 1 to 10.
I'm giving it a 7.6 because I don't have a cigar.
Okay.
If I had a cigar, it probably is gonna go up a little higher.
Okay.
We're gonna have to reconvene this later
Yeah.
tonight. Yeah.
All right, Ian.
I'm going to full 8.0.
You know.
Might be the highest I've ever rated anything on the show. I don't recall.
Okay. Okay. Eric.
I'll see your 8. and raise you 0.3, 8.3. This is excellent, and I'm not picking up all those notes. I never do. I don't have an advanced palate, but it's top drawer.
Okay. I think I'm right around you, Mac. I'm gonna say 7.8. About 7.8. It's good.
It's lovely.
Yeah. It's definitely better than average. I wouldn't necessarily drive out to go get it like Ian might, but it's good stuff. I would definitely not kick it out of the glass. So,
What are you, the bartender in the Boondock Saints?
Exactly. All right. Very good. Okay.
All right. So
Now, and we have all
I do the
kinds
first
of
question?
Nope. We have all kinds of special treats today. So get
Wait.
that out of here. Get out. We have a brand new theme song
right.
for the show for our 5-year anniversary, composed specifically for us. Never before heard theme song. Hope you guys enjoy it. Roll it.
Whatever happened to predictability? The milkman, the paperboy, evening TV. Everywhere you look, there's a heart, a hand to hold on to. Everywhere you look, there's a face of somebody who needs you. Everywhere you look, when you're lost out there and you're all alone, guidance waiting to carry you home. Everywhere you look, everywhere you look.
We absolutely thought of all of that ourselves. We did not rip anyone off. That is not a knockoff of
I was
anything in particular.
particularly proud of that.
Oh, yes, absolutely. Stick around for the very end of the show. The Easter egg after this show, you're going to see a slightly different version of that.
No spoilers.
Stick around.
No spoilers.
Yes, I'm not spoiling too much.
Okay.
I'm tempting. There's a carrot. So it's today's show specifically. What we are trying to do for the 5-year anniversary show is answer all the questions we don't normally answer. We'll talk about the company. We'll talk about ourselves a little bit more. We'll talk about our process, about the marketing department and filming of the stuff. Whatever you guys want to know about any of the 4 of us, load your questions in for that kind of stuff. We have some that Ian's going to be reading that were already asked in advance, and then we have Mac, who's going to be monitoring the questions coming in from the live. To start, let's talk about that video. That was, that it's not really the new theme song, but we
No kidding.
we sat around thinking like, oh, we got to do something funny. What are we going to do for the 5-year show? And that was the
came
dumbest
up with it
project that we
first?
got excited about. I don't know. We were talking about
I
like
want to say it was Adam.
riffing on like 80s theme songs kind of thing.
Yeah.
And
Somebody said Full House. It might have been Adam. I
yeah.
don't remember.
So that was Jamie's second or third day on the job, and we're just like, yeah, we're going to go shoot this weird thing, and she just thought we were nuts, which
I think she still does.
we are.
She's correct.
Exactly. So, anyway, Mr. Any other thoughts on the video?
First serious use of a drone.
Yeah.
You got a view of Rocky's skate there.
Exactly.
Rocky's ride.
Yes.
I hate filming in the sun in a leather jacket in July.
I love frolicking in the park.
That was amusing.
Yes.
Half the frolicking didn't make it into the final cut, though.
Not
I like the bit where I was trying to do the
Karate Kid.
Karate Kid thing on top of the post, and that didn't make it in. But it's probably just as well. on top of a 3-foot post in a kilt. Yeah, maybe that's why she didn't use it.
All right, Mr. Ian, what do we have for one of the first preloaded, pre-asked questions about us?
I feel so weird right now.
I know. We're on display.
No. I mean, like, my clipboard is there, and it's like,
Oh, that too.
yeah.
If
it's
you need
just,
your emotional support
I know,
clipboard, you can
I
hold
brought
the
it in. I
emotional
brought it in
support
just
clipboard.
during
in
the show.
case. That's why it's here. It's just in case I needed it. You know.
Okay, first question comes from Stephen Pickering, and it's a simple one. Why Pennsylvania?
why Pennsylvania?
Why not Pennsylvania?
Exactly.
Uh,
A few things when we first started the company. If you're going to look at the states and you're going to look at where Celtic peoples, so to speak, kind of settled in the states, so the Scots, Irish, Welsh, that kind of thing. There's definite pockets of people, whether it's Appalachia, whether it's Philadelphia, whether it's New York, whether it's Boston. Philadelphia is one of those pockets. There's specifically for Welsh, but also for Scots and Irish as well. And the second kind of tier of the answer is that's where I am. That's where I grew up. I grew up outside of Philadelphia in the suburbs. And it's just, I didn't really want to stray too far from home. So it was just, hey, we're going to start a company. Well, we'll do it. Started right here. One of the things that we kind of recognized from very early on is that the U.S. is very, very large compared to Scotland. There's an old phrase that Americans think 300 years is a long time and Scots think 300 miles is a long way.
right.
So for the U.S., we recognized very early on that it was going to be very difficult to market to the entire country, and have like satellite locations everywhere and stuff like that. So we made, heavy, lean into the website and that kind of stuff, and communicating in online communities like Xmarks and things like that, and really getting in there and finding our people online and our friends online.
Yep.
So, yeah, that is the answer to why Pennsylvania.
Yep.
Okay, Mr. Mack, do we have anyone asking anything yet from the audience, or no?
No.
They're still confused. Like, why aren't they talking about the
comments are
Kilts?
still coming in. There is they're questioning how long it's going to take before a copyright infringement comes after us, but
As long as we don't monetize the
We already
video,
dealt
like
with
put
that.
commercials on it, we're fine. Yep.
Parody is the thing.
Yes,
well,
it's
that's
parody.
that's where everyone seems to be going with it. It's a parody, so we're good.
Yep.
Um, so
Parody? You couldn't tell it was them?
Yeah.
I don't look like Uncle Jesse?
They did say it would be epic if we would have got John Stamos to do a cameo in it.
He was
What's
busy
this-
that weekend. We asked him, and he's a friend of ours, but
Yeah.
he had something else going on.
What's that celebrity thing? Is it called Cameo, where you could pay celebrities
Yeah.
to like?
Yeah, cameo.
I didn't even think about that until now.
Damn it, we should have
Okay.
done that.
I also thought about wearing a shirt today that said Rocky and the Rippers, but in the show it was Jesse and the Rippers was his band.
Okay.
Okay.
Full disclosure, I have never seen the show. I didn't grow up with sitcoms like that, so. And yet, I've had the frickin' theme song now stuck in my head for about 4 weeks
The number
because
of
of
times,
this project.
the number of times we forced him to listen to the song. It's spectacular.
Oh.
Yes. Every time I turned it, I was like, "Oh my God, not again!"
To be fair, that show was on about 3 decades after you would have been the target age for it anyway. So
Only 3.
I don't know. I don't even know.
He's taking a jab at your age.
I know he is. I'm
I
just
know.
trying to figure out if he's accurate or not because,
Fair. Fair.
when you're my age, you care about these things.
All right.
So actually, we have one question coming in from the Clarksville Piper. Wants to know, where did you learn to make a kilt, or were you self-taught?
Self-taught, 100%. I didn't know how to sew before starting the company. We started off by like wholesaling kilts from another company, and then we didn't like the fact that they didn't have belt loops and the pleats weren't sewn down properly and this, that, and the other. So we started just kind of reverse engineering or fixing those, I should say. And then eventually we were just kind of like, after a few months of doing that or a couple months of doing that, figured this doesn't look that tough. We could probably do this. So we started making lower end kilts. And then as we started, getting a little bit of traction, people would come in from local pipe bands and say, hey, this kilt needs to be adjusted, or I need this kilt let out, I need this done, da. And we started looking at, kilts from Scotland, traditional kilts, and figuring out, okay, this is how they do this thing, this is how they do that thing, from all different makers. It wasn't just like, we went to the Keith Kilt School or, a particular, school of thought for making kilts. We kind of figured it out and reinvented the wheel the hard way. It's definitely, if you're not allowed to look for old kilts of ours because they are horrible when we first started.
They show up once in a while.
Yes.
Once in a while we see them.
But it was just kind of reverse engineering and thinking through the process. And I am not an engineer, but I always say that I have an engineering brain. I like to look at the little details and get into the weeds on stuff. So we kind of just from the ground up, just kind of reinvented how it was done, why it was done. We overbuilt things where we needed to overbuild them, or where I thought things were underbuilt, or if a bunch of pleats or kilts came in with pleats ripped out, we'd be like, oh, okay, we need to reinforce this area, we need to do this a little bit differently, that kind of thing. So when we first started bringing people in to start working with us, like when Mac came in, he wasn't traditionally trained as a kilt maker either. He was learning what we were telling him we wanted him to do. So we did it our own way. Now we have the Art of Kilt Making book from Barb Tewksbury, who's a wonderful, wonderful lady. We learned a few things through that and then apply it to our process, but it's still our process of making a kilt. It's not her way exactly or our way. It's just kind of evolved over time till we found the sweet spot, so to speak.
Two things. You kind of glossed over one part of that story, I think, which is the fact that Rocky and his then partner, if I'm not mistaken, were doing the kilts, making the kilts, and then this woman named Kelly came into the shop once, and she was a seamstress, and said basically, "Why the frick are you doing this way?" I think, or something to that.
Kicked her right out.
And we never saw her again. And you picked up a lot of sewing knowledge from her.
Yes,
right?
It was when I first started. I had never sewn before. Nothing. My mom gave me an old sewing machine, and we kind of worked on that. When Kelly came in, it was more. She would say, I'd be like, "Oh yeah, you did a double flippy thing at the edge here." She'd be like, "A hem?" I'm like, "Yeah, one of those. Do that thing." So I knew zero. I was literally just figured out how it was a machine. I could make the machine work. I could make the machine go up and down. Exactly. So she taught more. She explained to me more the reasons you do things and why you do things and the theory, what things are actually called, and then we just kind of expanded from there.
I imagine it being like you're like the country kid who's out there in your
overalls
little,
with the hayseed.
No, like in your casote and your headband. You're like, "I must avenge my father by making the kilts." And then she comes wandering in and she's got the grass and she's like the samurai master's like, "Oh, you think you're ready to make kilts, boy? Ha!" And like teaches you all the kung fu secrets. And, you have a training montage and
There weren't as
put
many
the wax on the kilt and then take the wax.
Yeah, and I'm imagining like bouncing on a bamboo pole with a sewing machine on another bamboo pole, and just like, and all that kind of stuff. But
not quite.
I might be wrong. That might not be how it happened.
A little bit.
But Kelly, just full disclosure, became his wife. Yep. Ta-da! Was part of that journey.
Yeah.
Right.
Absolutely.
And I will say the other thing I was going to say was that I think the way you did it has been actually a benefit because you got to pick and choose the good parts and the bad parts of the various kilt makers' techniques that you cite. I mean, you had a worldly education. Yeah. And if to toot our own horn, I think our kilts are better built than many we've seen because you hybridized took the best of the best techniques.
Yeah, it's there.
And we know that Americans tend to beat the hell out of stuff. So you like you said, you overbuilt it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's when we first started, the goal was to overbuild it and not have to worry about this thing coming undone later, or this thing having a problem, or this thing takes too long to do for no real value, or this thing, can be done better. So it was just kind of a whole process of coming up with the best way to do things. So there's 100 different ways to skin a cat. And I'm not saying our way is the right way. I'm not saying Scotland doesn't know what they're doing, or this company doesn't know, or that. There's a bunch of different ways to do it. And there are probably better ways than we do it, and there are probably worse ways than we do it. This is just the way that we do it.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed.
And the rest is hysterical.
Yes. And that's all I have to say about that.
Really? You're going to laugh at that one?
It's a good one. It's a good one. I like wordplay.
Wow. Ian's my easiest audience.
He's an easy mark.
My biggest, yeah. Appreciate it, man.
It's the scotch.
Appreciate you.
Yeah.
All right, Mr. Ian, what's the next one we got over there?
All right, this one's from our friend down in I think Kentucky, maybe Tennessee, Lewis Collingwood. Did you all think the show and page would grow the way it has with thousands of followers? Was there a light switch moment where you knew it was going to be big? And what would your expectations be for the future of the page and the channel?
All right, for this one, let's bring in
it's kind
Mac.
of a two-part.
Yeah, two-part question. First part, I'm going to have Mac and Ian both come in as well. Mac, travel back in time with me. Ian, you travel back in time with me too. We are going to get in the telephone booth and Bill and Ted this thing. So, yeah, not Wayne's World, Bill and Ted. Yes, indeed. We're going to be most excellent to each other. And now, all the references. back in 2016, 2017, whenever I started talking about we're going to shoot videos, we're going to do this, we're going to do that, how or in 2019, I think we started the group, 2018, 2019.
I think it was 18.
We
think it was
started it,
earlier.
but then we didn't do anything with
Definitely
it. Then we
wasn't 19.
eventually
It was definitely earlier
announced
than
it.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It might even been 17.
Fair. When we started the show, the show and the Facebook group, what did you guys think? Honest opinions, starting with Mac. Was I nuts? Was I a genius? Was it was it risky? What were your thoughts?
About time.
That's exactly what I was gonna say.
Whoa. Okay.
About time.
No,
Really?
I remember us talking to you about a couple ideas about it, and you're like, nah. And then a few months later, hey, I got this idea.
Okay. It's a good thing I thought of it.
Yeah.
It helps when Rocky thinks it's his idea.
Yes, indeed. That's everybody.
Yeah. They
No,
manipulated
it was
you.
the way everything was going. It was we had to get on that train at some point.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I wouldn't say it was that inevitable. It's not like everybody was doing it. We just needed to jump on it. There wasn't anybody doing what we currently do, with Kilts at least, in the way that we do it. But we had talked about it for years prior to it happening. But you're always too busy. You're trying to do too many things at once. Didn't have time for it.
The
So
reality
hasn't
TV
changed.
show.
So
Yeah.
by the
Oh, yeah.
by the time we did it, that was exactly what I was going to say. If you'd come to me first, it's about damn time, and especially with the group, even though we'd had the show going already, because I've listened to probably 50,000 hours of podcasts. The thing that I knew from the start was that podcasts and things like it live or die on the communities that they're part of and belong to and create. If they don't do that, then they're just noise. So having a community to bounce off of with the show has been as key to its success as anything we've done here in the room.
So we can make more noise.
So thank you,
Yeah.
viewers, because you guys have helped make it big.
No, that's a very salient point. I didn't, when we first started, I kind of separate the two thoughts of starting, recording and putting ourselves out there. Are people going to like us? Are they going to think like, this old bald dude doesn't know what he's talking about? And then when I came around to the Facebook angle, it was more, my biggest concern was, are people going to be nice to each other? Is it going to be a room full of assholes and know-it-alls
that.
just beating each other up over stupid
Jerks,
things?
as it may be.
Yeah.
Well,
You could be nice about the word, but
Well, I was just trying to get to the the motto of the
exactly.
group and the rule.
Yes, but are people going to get what we are doing? Are they gonna kind of follow our lead? Is it gonna go the way that so many other internet forums and Facebook groups
Right.
and Facebook, Facebook in general, or any social media has gone and just be all negative all the time, culture war kind of thing? Did you have any thoughts? Sorry, I kind of jumped in front of you.
Nope. No thoughts.
None at all.
No, I did. I didn't have a "it's about time" reaction the way they were describing, but I did. I do remember. It seemed like a natural thing to do, but we were thinking more in terms of just doing some didactic video to try and help the customer base, not necessarily all the other stuff we got into eventually, or the broader scope of stuff. Because the first show was basically in the showroom in the store. And it was literally just kind of like hey, tell us what you need to know about kilts, and so we can help you as a customer. It was very much like, homebrew, small
The
small
stick
town
was
thing.
impression of
far up
someone.
at that point. Yes.
And but as far as the group is concerned, I remember you saying, I was like, well, you would like squatted on it and had it, and then you made it private because you were nervous, and then you opened it up again.
Yep.
You hit it and then unhit it. I remember.
Yeah. No one was in it. We just
Right.
we created it and
Just-
we're kind of
just
like
squatting on
there's
the
a
name.
plan for a little while later.
But we were terrified because we'd seen other Facebook groups that were full of either vitriol or distraction or vaguely related to the topic, and just kind of messy. So it was or there were tiny groups of 200 guys who all like this one tartan. It's just woo. So it felt it felt like a gamble.
Yeah.
It definitely felt like a gamble at the time.
Yeah. And now there are other, just for the record, there are other kilt groups out there, and they are not like we are describing that they're all a bunch of jerks kind of thing. That's not what we're saying.
No.
What we're saying is we wanted specifically for ours to be a little more big tent kind of mentality. There's traditional kilters group where everything kind of leans a little bit more traditional. There's other groups where people just kind of are a little more, utility kilt and open, lower end stuff, or just just random topics, not necessarily kilt related. We wanted it to stay kilts and culture related, but big tent appeal to the whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, and the groups I'm imagining that we were like, ooh, they don't exist anymore anyway.
Yeah.
You know, the nasty ones have just kind of
But there's a lot
evaporated.
of really cool kilt groups. Like there's Real Men, there's Brotherhood of the Kilt, there's us, there's traditional kilters. There's a few different ones, and you kind of find your audience. You find you find your friends. You find where you fit in. Some that are a little bit looser on the rules, some are a little tighter on the rules. But you poke around a few different ones. You figure out what you like seeing, and that's where you stick.
But the show was kind of just an outgrowth. It was kind of like poking at the idea, like, let's try it. Let's see what happens. Okay, let's do another. Let's do
Come
another
on,
one.
do stuff, group.
Yeah, a couple of months. Let's do another show.
Yeah.
Maybe let's do another show. And this time we'll make sure the camera works. And, stuff
those
like that.
first shows in the store.
Oh yeah.
Woo, buddy.
Yep.
Friggin' magnifique.
Yes.
Oh,
We absolutely
Yes.
could not do it in the store anymore.
Oh no.
No.
Well, we couldn't have done it
never
in the
should
store
have in the
then.
first
Well,
place.
We
It
didn't
was a
have
horrible idea. How
didn't have
dare
room
you
back
tell me to
then.
do that in the store?
We didn't have room back then, but now we're busy in the store on Friday afternoons.
I know.
Frankly, I'm surprised somebody isn't dragging me out of here to go help with something.
The first show, the theory was we're going to do a show in the store. It'll be fine. We'll have like a couple customers behind us. It'll just
Yeah,
be
a little
me
show
and Eric.
activity.
Yep. Have somebody sitting there,
Show we're real
at the
people.
point it was Lucas, sitting there, asking the questions to us. And then it just, immediately went off the rails where Mac was coming in like, oh, I need Lucas into that. And Lucas running off. And we're like, oh, okay, now we have no questions because he's gone.
Yep.
So it was,
Yep.
Nope. Immediately we knew that was a bad idea. So that was, I guess we did 2 in the store.
Yes.
And then, nope. And, we did 1 in the store, figured it was a bad idea. And then the house that's on our property, we own that house that's on the property as well. So we renovated the front room of the house to be our little snug little studio. That took about a month or so, and that's why we had to do the second show in the store.
Is
But
that
then
how it
we-
happened? Okay.
Yep. And we went over to the house.
At that time, I was in a broom closet for my office because he wanted somebody to start writing blog articles. So that was my introduction. That and redoing inventory lists and stuff. And yeah, so
Yep.
it was in this little tiny closet.
I remember that the first discussion was, hey, Eric, I got great news and bad news. Great news is we're going to form a marketing department, and you're going to be in the marketing department. The bad news is I'm the other half of the marketing department.
Yep.
And,
Yep. I was like, okay.
yes, shoot.
No, it was good.
Need to reevaluate my life choices. So, then what was the second half of that question?
The future, I think.
Now, was
was
there
Did we cover? Was there a light switch moment? Was there a moment where it
when we
flipped?
knew that it was going to be
Yeah.
big?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Do you think it is big?
What do you compare it to?
Never
to
big
say
enough.
That? Well, yeah, but I mean, what do you compare it to say whether it's big
Yeah.
or not? I mean, we're kind of a rah-rah always, so
We've
Yeah.
kind of found our own lane,
yeah.
so there's
Yeah.
not something to easily compare for sure.
kind of like
Yeah.
steamrolled our own lane through the marshes.
I prefer to think of it as like a flamethrower in front of us. Was there a light switch moment where we realized it's gonna work? Like 'cause at this point, I think we're safe saying it's working and it's doing what, at least in my mind, it's doing what I wanted it to do,
good.
which is build community. Is there a particular moment that stands out to you, Eric, that it was just like, oh shoot, this could go?
It's hard for me to imagine one, to be honest. I mean, it's been a steady steamrolling, snowballing kind of a thing. So there's no moment that really sticks out in my mind. I think when we started getting the first comments back that, hey, I saw your show, thanks, or this inspired me, that was like, oh, okay, there's an interested audience out there.
Very fair point.
Yeah.
Yeah. My clearest memory, and this is not meant to sound like bragging. I promise.
You're
it's
gonna do it.
not.
You might as well do it this
Yeah.
week.
When we we used to, our website has always, we've had issues, trust me, it's like that with duct tape. But no, our website was always more informative, had more tartans, and was more granular in data and had a broader breadth of things, kilt packages, that kind of stuff. So we'd always had a good amount of compliments on our website for like, hey, I can actually see the product I'm getting. It's not like just generic kilt number one. You tell me the details of what the kilt is, and you give me all the different tartans that are listed, and da-da-da. So we had gotten used to having like people say nice things about the website.
Right.
When that kind of switched over to people saying nice things about the show or about the videos or the comments that were coming in or phone calls that we were getting saying like, hey, I love the videos you guys are doing. I want to buy a kilt from you. That was when it was just like, okay, this is where if people loved the website and were commenting on that and now they're commenting on this, this means it's working.
Right.
So, yeah, that's when it started. I felt the snowball rolling down the hill a little bit.
Well, it was the feedback.
Yeah.
It's just hearing from real people saying, oh, hey, this was cool. I'd never seen anything like this before.
Yeah.
That was it. It was like,
yeah.
I think.
Agreed. And when people come into the store and like, oh, is Rocky here? I want to talk to him about this video that you guys did or this. It's kind of like, okay, this is starting to catch. It makes sense. The original videos that we did, again, please don't look at them because they're horrible. But
They're
like
out there.
pre-show, the ones with the 17-second intro that should never have been, those videos, the whole reason we did that was I was doing all of the customer service. And the questions, similar questions kept coming in. And I was just like, I'm spending a lot of time answering these questions. So other people must have those same questions. And I want to make my job easier. So I'd love to put it on YouTube so I can just, copy paste the link and be like, hey, I did a whole video on this thing. Here you go. And have a full, 5-minute video about a particular thing.
Right.
So that's kind of where it started. And then that's where the idea kind of grew out of for the show and the Q&A and answering people's questions and what do they want to know. The reason why this is the special 5-year show where we're actually talking about ourselves is because the whole time, the whole point has been talk about what you guys want to know, what you guys need, not us. We're trying to build a community and gather all the data and put it all forward, highlight cool people, highlight other cool channels, or whatever we're trying to do. We're trying to build something, and it's not about us, it's about the community that we're building. So what is the future? Me rambling?
Relax.
Never happened. So what is the future
Rambling
of the
ahead.
show?
Meta. We're going to have a virtual store.
Yes. You'll be sitting right
We
here
have
beside
avatar
us.
people. And
Hi,
yep.
Johnny. How
Yep.
you doing?
I mean, it'll be weird because the avatars in Meta don't have legs, so putting a kilt on is just going to be kind of like, look like ghosts. Like,
I saw a company that's doing meta stuff that like 3D scans your whole face, but like tip top. And it no, it actually looks good. And they had the point.
That's just as creepy.
I know it is, but they had the point that the human brain will definitely see if it's like a 2% off. It has to be like realistic or cartoon. If it's like 15-20% off of a real human, it looks weird.
It's the uncanny valley.
Yes, you can't unsee it. Yes, exactly.
So that's basically us.
Yes. Now, the future of the show is just playing around with it and doing different stuff. You know, having guest hosts for the show, having interviews, doing more deep dive pieces of pieces of content that are more history related, and just more of the same, just bigger and better and fun.
Yeah, going on more deep dives, I think is one goal at least.
Yeah.
Trying to broaden our own knowledge, and at the same time, touch on some stuff that is lesser known.
Yes, and keep building the breadth of everything that we're building, period, and build the community more and build more interest in all of this stuff to help build the community.
Yeah, I think
it's kind of a cat chasing his tail or dog chasing his tail thing.
It's a vicious cycle, but in a good way. It's a building spiral, because I mean it's like we're supporting a lifestyle. By community, the implication is there's a lifestyle. So it's like the more things we can do, like going to places or cooking food or other activities and stuff, other art forms that are related to just the whole Gallic world. I think that's the.
I'd go beyond lifestyle to culture that we're building, or
lifestyle
supporting.
is like on a
clothing
personal
level. Yeah,
no,
yeah,
personal level.
Okay.
But yeah, culture.
Indeed.
Yep.
All of it, bigger, better, more. Yes, if you have ideas of things
Faster,
you want to
stronger.
see, please throw them at us. Say in the comments, tell us what you want to see. Yes,
My
throw
my
your whole arm
personal
out.
goal is for Rocky to be the Grand Marshal of the Tartan Day Parade in New York.
Only if I get to wear a feather
the-
bonnet.
Sure.
You could wear a feather bonnet any day in here if you wanted to.
I don't want to.
Next show, you heard it here.
We don't
first,
know.
folks.
When
Rocky's
the,
wearing
door
a
of
feather
the,
bonnet.
when the door of the office is closed, we don't know what's happening in there. It's
True.
Could be.
Yes, a lot of drinking.
And naps.
Stress. It's fun. It's all good. All right, Mr. Mac, what do we got coming in?
All right, so we have. I think this came in from Twitch.
Wow.
So we got a
Jolly
Twitch,
good.
a Twitcher.
Somebody twitchy.
Oh no.
Andy Belfast 88 is asking, "What is our best-selling tartan? What do we think our best-selling tartan is?"
What's our best-selling tartan era?
Now or over the history of the entire company?
Let's say out. Well, let's break it into two. Let's
Let's make it more complicated for you.
Indeed, and we can bring McAneen in or leave McAneen in for this. Let's break it into two. Let's
Is
say
it quiz time?
best-selling tartan overall, and best-selling tartan that is not our exclusive.
Ooh.
Because for best-selling tartan overall for us particularly, I
The
have
answer's obvious.
two. Well, it's one of two.
It's
I
one
don't
of
think it's
two
obvious.
at this
Yeah.
point, yeah.
Because one is very pipe band supported, one is very community supported. Mac,
I would say until we released it, American Heritage by far, and I always dubbed it as our flagship tartan.
agreed.
K&C is trucking down that lane strong.
It's relatively fresh and new, though.
Okay.
Yeah. Not a non-R's. I'm leaning County Corkish.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
That's a
a
good
good
answer.
vote.
It's a good
It's not.
answer.
I think I was going to say what you were going to say.
Ian,
I feel like I've made so many more firefighters than American Heritage.
yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
In my PV data says otherwise.
Wool. I'm thinking wool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was thinking PV. So
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
My data on your work record
Yeah.
says otherwise, Mr.
No, but
Anderson.
if you include in, pipe bands, there's one,
Yeah.
maybe two that do American Heritage, and there's like 15 that do firefighters.
That's-
and there's a couple Masonic lodges
Probably-
that do American Heritage too. So
Okay. Okay.
15 is probably underestimating by a far gap.
Okay. So our exclusive and other. What are your thoughts?
So, firefighter overall, yes. Other than something that we own, I had no thoughts, but you said cork, and now I can't unthink it. You really popped that cork, and now I can't.
Oh.
But a good follow up might be boom, boom, boom. Everybody say mayo, mayo.
Yeah.
That's a pretty popular one too.
Yeah. That's kind of where I was going to
Yeah.
question as well.
I was going to say American Heritage and firefighters.
Okay.
I thought. I mean, just over the time.
Yeah, they have a little bit a different angle on it because they make them
yeah.
more,
Yeah.
and I order them, so you're a little bit outside. But you're right.
Well, I was
see how-
sort of. I was packing a lot of boxes back in the
Fair,
day. I
fair
saw a
point.
lot of them
Fair
go out.
point. Fair point. That was a
So-
long time ago. Your
At this point, it
status
was a
has
long time.
grown.
Yeah.
I can see how Kilts and Culture's making up ground though for sure.
yeah,
Yeah.
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 far.
Yeah, especially with this recent pre-order. It's
Yep.
You see the fear in Mac's eyes right now?
Oh no.
That's the fear of a lot of orders staring them down.
Speaking of the history of the company, I made quite a few of those in my garage at home in the early part of 2020. So.
Yes.
Oh right. Yeah.
That train's a coming.
The light at the end of the tunnel is a train
Yeah.
wreck. Yeah, I was going to say, I think at this point, it's possibly. No, it's still got to be firefighters. It's still got to be firefighters currently. I think Kilts and Culture is definitely catching up. I think it's probably about to pass firefighters at some point. But looking through history, remembering back to how many bolts of firefighters that I've ordered, it's still firefighters for that.
Okay.
If we're talking now universal tartans or other tartan that's non-us related, if we're talking wool, mayo, or cork, it's a coin flip at that point. If we're talking across the board, because mayo and cork are not available in PV, I'm gonna say Blackwatch.
Yeah.
It's got to be Blackwatch.
thinking
we
Blackwatch,
we don't have
yeah.
too much in wool on Blackwatch. There's enough.
No,
But-
everything is.
PV.
Everything is
Blackwatch.
Blackwatch.
Everything is cool when you're Scottish like me. Everything is
Now,
Blackwatch.
if you're going to lump together various, various variations. That's a great phrase. Like, does Stewart come anywhere close to the running here? Like, I don't think there's one version of Stewart
No.
that would catch up to Blackwatch. But if you lump them all together,
Here's the reason why we have not offered. I think, do we offer Blackwatch off the rack now or no?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we took it off for a period, and the same thing with Stewart. We just stopped offering it off the rack because there are so many other companies that offer it as an off the rack universal type tartan. So it never tipped the scales like something like Firefighters or Celtic Culture or American Heritage, anything like Celtic Nations, excuse me, or American Heritage tipped the scales because we weren't the only ones. So for Stewart, I'd say we sell a lot of Stewart tartans, period. But that's hunting, Stewart Black, Stewart of Appin, Stewart Royal, across the whole entire range. Blackwatch is Blackwatch. If you want to include like Campbell Ancient, which is technically Blackwatch, sure, we sell a ton of that.
he's letting the cat out of the
Oh
bag.
no!
Stuff it back in.
No, but outside of that, I think those are the I think those are the ones. Indeed. Yeah. All right, Mr. Ian. Next question.
Yes. Got one here from Jeremy Forsyth. If Rocky, Eric, Mac, and Ian are drinking together, who is the lightweight of the group, and what is each of your drinks of choice?
Well, bring in Mac for this.
Can you,
I
can
won't
you get a
say.
little more from me?
I won't say who the lightweight or the heavyweight of the group is, as I pour myself another.
Who are you about to
It's
call
gonna be a
fat?
long show, boys and girls. Mac, who do you think between the four of us? Now, are we going? Are we saying like, not me? I'm in my prime. Are we saying if we were all the same age, in our 20s versus now, or are we just going now?
If we're going right now,
Okay.
I'm already have us divided into two.
Okay.
The heavyweights, I think, in this situation, are you and Ian, and the lighter weights are me and Eric in this situation.
I think you called me fat.
Oh, I know I win that battle all day long.
Okay. Now Ian and I have been known to tip a little scotch now and again. Okay. How many drinks a week? This is gonna get real weird and personal. How many drinks a week do you have?
See, I've
Like either a drink of scotch or a beer, that kind of thing, as an average.
So maybe one a week. A lot of it has been cut back because of health reasons. So
Fair.
Quite a
The old
sodium
ticker.
levels.
Yep.
sodium levels don't do so well.
Okay. Ian. That smile tells me all I need to know, frankly.
I'd say in a week, we're talking business week or 7 days.
What a level of stress.
7 days, we're probably talking 7 to 10 drinks.
Okay. Okay.
Wow. I mean, interesting.
I mean, Mac, we need an intervention for Ian.
Not a day.
What?
What's your average per week ish?
0.
0? Okay.
Like 1/2. I mean,
It'd have to be at least a quarter. I see you drink
the
once a
lady.
month.
Well, yeah. I mean, the lady and I will have a cocktail or some wine on Friday nights, but it's kind of realistically, it's like every other Friday night.
Okay.
So, I mean, no, I know I'm the lightweight.
Yeah. I'm probably in Ian's camp, and I don't even know if I'm that much. It's 3 to 4 nights a week. Maybe I'll have one if I'm like really stressed out from work. Maybe 2, but it's never like crazy. During a show, 2 to 7.
The devil lives in the
We're doing
saloon.
extra shows lately.
We
Support
shall
the temperance
see.
union.
Exactly. Yeah. No, but it's nothing crazy excessive. We enjoy. I would say this. I don't drink to drink. I drink to enjoy the thing that I am drinking. I would rather spend $80 on a good bottle of scotch and it will last me, a few weeks to a month or whatever if I'm going to have that every few days, versus buying the cheap stuff just to guzzle it all night. Yeah, I'm not drowning my sorrows. I'm enjoying the spirits.
I'm in the same camp. I don't drink to get drunk. I don't drink to excess very often.
Not anymore.
Yeah.
20s.
I'm not saying never.
All bets are off.
A couple
Yeah.
times a year I'll get drunk, but
My 40th birthday party, maybe at my house with a bunch of staff there. We won't talk about that. Waking up in your underwear in the basement, hanging out
Oh
with
my
neighbor.
goodness.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
but for me it's often a beer with dinner, and then like
Yeah.
two or three nights a week
Yeah.
I'll go back for another one an hour or two later.
I will say this: the older I get, the more I like hoppy beers. So it's a sedative. It will knock you out. And the older you get, the more I find that if you stop, you have a beer and your brain isn't occupied with something that you're engaged with, I will fall asleep. I'm like this far above a narcoleptic. I will just have one beer, lay on the couch. I'm out, dude. Stop snoring. I can't hear my show.
I will say I do occasionally have a beer with dinner.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that didn't really go into my estimate before, but still not necessarily like
Yeah, it's not
maybe
a
a beer a week. I don't know.
It's usually
bottle.
shower beer.
Shower beers are completely underrated. After hockey, shower beer. Love shower
I
beers.
don't often do a shower beer, but I've never been opposed to a shower beer.
My
If I had a better spot to put it, maybe I'd do it.
my sister-in-law got me a suction cuppy thing
Oh, God.
in the shower that is for your shower beer. Yes.
Wow.
I don't know what she thinks of me that she got me this thing, but
She watches the show.
She watches the show. Yeah, obviously. Yeah.
So I don't
Very
think we
good.
addressed the second part of the question yet. Drink of choice.
oh, drink of choice.
Cider is better for sodium levels.
Okay. Fair point. Ian.
I tend to go for beer first. Sometimes I do scotch. Rarely I'll do some red wine, some dry red wine. But yeah,
Okay.
usually beer is my first choice. Malty, more so than hoppy.
Okay.
Gin and tonic or a suffering bastard.
Okay. For me, it's more seasonal. If it's summer or warmer weather, I'm going beer all the way. Something hoppy. Dirt Wolf, Victory Brewing Company. Dirt Wolf is my favorite. Exactly. And for Scotch is my other, warmer weather, wintry kind of drink, warm the insides. My current favorite, I will phrase it that way. My current favorite is Oban 18, which is way too freaking expensive.
It was very good. It was very good. I
Ooh,
think
man, that's good.
I'm enjoying this, but yeah,
Yes.
that's tough to parse if Oban would actually be. We're gonna have to drink them together at some point. So
I think
can
I'm
compare
more
them.
likely to buy this.
I might be too. But I'm
That's
not
not to say it's better.
Just say we.
Now, this, for the record, this is $150 a bottle.
Oh, is it? I didn't think it was that much.
Yes.
I didn't think it was that much.
So now Ian is less likely to buy this and more likely to buy the regular Dalmore.
I know Jonathan King has since joined the broadcast. If you could bring some more.
Just label it Ian. It's fine.
we like it how we like port also,
Okay.
and port I will have more than I could see having that more regularly in a given week because it's relaxing,
Yeah.
civilized.
Yeah,
Absinthe.
yeah. It's
None of you have ever had absinthe, I'm betting, right?
No.
No, it's an acquired taste, but we
I
do
don't
enjoy
think so.
absinthe once in a while.
I will say this: for when I was drinking Lagavulin as my top dog, it wasn't necessarily the drinking that I was doing. It was I would just literally sit on the couch with it and smelling it, and the smell.
That's upsetting.
No, it's not. It's
Alone on the couch
in the dark.
garage.
Exactly. No, this smell, smelling it brings I could feel my blood pressure lowering, just kind of because I'm forcing myself to focus on something and just breathe and that kind of thing. So that's more the experience for me in drinking scotch is it calms me down a bit and it melts the stress away.
New product at usakilts.com coming soon, let's say.
Scratch and sniff kilts, Lagavulin scented.
No, I was just gonna say it's like nose strips, scented. So it's just right there, right at your nostrils.
Right.
Yeah.
I thought we were gonna open up a cigar room. Something when
Our
we,
friend
when
Daryl
the-
Story is gonna provide these.
I know. Eventually, we're gonna have USA Kilts Village, and we're gonna have specialty shops. We're gonna have a gourmet food shop,
At
and
the bar.
and tobacconist, and all that stuff. You know?
In your local town.
I don't never say never.
Speaking to the viewer in that case.
Indeed, indeed. All right. That was you, Mr. Mack.
Yes.
That was you.
Let's go to Mr. Gammon's question.
Oh.
Would
Gammon.
you
Really?
all ever consider taking on a new partner or two, or even opening a new location?
Oh, that kind of partner. Gotcha.
No. From an aspect of it's the
New partner.
yeah, my wife's
Phrasing.
enough of a partner. The fair point. My wife would be angry on 2 levels.
What time is it? The show's gone crazy. All right, 3:53.
The as far as bringing on a partner, no. It's I have a vision of what I want to do. Before this, are you mocking my hand gestures?
No,
Not at all. I'll do your stand. You can't see.
Give
that.
Eric one drink. He's such a lightweight.
I am a cheap date.
No, for bringing on a partner, no. It's I have a firm desire to do what I want to do. Before, doing this, I worked for other people. I could never do that again. I don't know if I could start another business. I could not be a slave to the company like I have been for the last, X number of years, even more so when I started in my mid-20s, before wife, before kid. Now I get Sundays off. Back then, it was 7 days a week, 12 to 14 hours a day, and I'm not exaggerating. So I don't think I could do that again to start a new business, nor would I necessarily want another partner, because for me, I don't want someone to tell me what to do. That is the bottom line. I'm growing the business for several reasons, for the community, for the culture aspect, for all of that good stuff. Selfishly, I'm growing it because I want to do what I want to do. I want to have fun doing the things that I want to do. And I don't want to have somebody else telling me, you have to do this, you have to do that. You have to worry about the return on investment of a stupid full day video shoot plus 2 days of editing to have a full house recreation. Because we want to do it for the 5-year anniversary show. If I have an inspiration of something I want to create and I want it to exist, and all of the people in this room look at me like I am batshit crazy, I don't care, because it's my thing. Yep. I'll do it if I want to do it.
Yep.
I don't do that all the time, so we do have to make some money at some point.
It's called the laser eyes factor.
Yes. Exactly.
That's the first really
laser
stupid,
eyes
crazy
video.
thing,
Yes.
the laser eyes effect.
Yes, Google USA Kilts video, do you hate pants?
Yeah.
That was the first video I did that the marketing department just said, what are you thinking? And I'm like, nope, I'm going to do this. This is going to be a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is the dumbest idea ever. And I'm still proud of it, and I don't care. So would we ever take on another partner? No, because I don't want that responsibility of having to answer to somebody else. Would we ever open up a second location? Probably not. When we first started, again, I am obsessively controlling of the message that we are putting out. When Mac started as a kilt maker, he learned to make kilts the way that I wanted them to be made. When Ian started as a kilt maker, he made them the way that Mac trained him, which is the way that I wanted them to be made. When Ian moved downstairs to the store to become store manager, he was saying the same kinds of things that I would say in the store. We want a consistent customer experience, a consistent viewer experience. So if you see something that we say on the show, we should be saying the same thing in the store. It all should work together.
Voice.
Exactly. The reason why I love this little tidbit. The reason why McDonald's is successful, it's not because it's the best burger in the world. It's not. It's because it's consistent. The burger you get in LA is the same as the burger you get in Podunk, Pennsylvania. It's the same burger you get in Scotland. It's the same burger you get in Germany. It doesn't matter where you go. It's consistent, and that's the point. So that's been one of the common messages from day one of starting the company is we have to be consistent in the things we are saying, the things we are doing, our quality, all of that, all has to be consistent going forward. The thing that scares me most about opening up a second location is because we actually talked about it. Like, do we want to open up a location in New Hope or down on the main line towards Philadelphia or like, but the question, the real issue becomes two things. One, we have to carry a whole second level of inventory And we don't currently have to do that, so it's a lot more money invested. And two, those people would have to be saying the same exact things that we are saying. So who would I trust to do that? If Ian said, hey, Rocky, I want to move to Kansas. Okay. Do you want to open a store in Kansas? Yeah, Ian shaking his head, no, he's not going to move to Kansas. But if he,
Colorado,
knowing
maybe.
exactly how I want things done, were to move to Kansas and to Kansas, and then we were to open a store, sure, but it's not something I would just do, because then those people would have to be saying the same things, because I would want that same experience.
Right.
And because we're not a big company, because we have not started off with the mentality of building a franchise empire, we don't have a handbook on here's all the things you say when a customer asks X, Y, and Z. Also, this stuff is very, very, very nuanced. There's a lot of things that kind of come off the wall that we can answer off the cuff, and the people in the store can answer off the cuff. But if they were left to their own devices, I'd be scared that they would say something that's completely contradicts what you or I say
Yeah,
here.
it's not like going in the men's warehouse or something.
Yeah.
You know, but now I've got the vision of the fast food franchise style training video. It's like, welcome to your first day at USA Kilts. In this video, we will show you how to support customer needs and measure people for 3 different models of kilt: casual, semi-traditional, and 8-yard. Pay attention, and if you have questions, ask your manager.
Yeah. It's not something that we could do and have the same level of service that we have now. So
Well, the heart goes out of it. I think that, I mean,
there's
don't
that
get me
too.
wrong. I know
Yeah.
lots of people who work in franchise industries and stuff, and they're great people, and they make their store nice. But it is. You've always said that sales is a process of transferring enthusiasm,
yes.
and you have to really be into this stuff and have a personal, honest passion for it if you're going to do that. This is not going into Kohl's and buying a polo shirt or something. This is a journey for the people who are getting into it, and our job is to make sure that they have quality advice as they start. So,
And the other thing that I would say from day one, we've always kind of thought with down in the store is I've never wanted to do a commission-based sales type thing, because I don't want anyone in the store feeling like they have to extract as much money from a customer as possible. It's yes, I've always said, sales is just a transfer of enthusiasm for you to the customer, so they have to be excited. But at the same time, I don't want it to be that you feel the need to like squeeze everyone for every single penny they're worth. That's not what we're trying to do.
No.
We're playing the long game. We want people to understand that we are here to help them. It is the salesman in the store is the navigator in the car. They are there to point out the potholes in the road.
Right.
They are there to point out if someone's going to have a little faux pas or something like that, and to get them the best value for their money. Because the more value they see in it, the happier they are with their experience, the less pressure they feel to, you have to buy this thing. No, please, no, please. Do you want a warranty with that kilt? It's none of that. It's, no, we want them to feel like they came in, they were talking to a friend who knew more than them about kilts. They set them up, they got a great outfit, they're pleased with the whole experience, and then when they need their next one, they'll come back. When their friend needs a kilt, they'll refer them to us. It's the long con of being genuinely good people to our customers. Oddly enough, if you're not a jerk and if you have the customer's best interest at heart, eventually it'll pay off. We may end up spending more money here, there, or like little things in the near term, or losing a little bit of money because we're not telling them you need 17 pairs of socks and both of the jackets, and then you need another tweed and 2 kilts. We're not trying to pull all of that out at one time. We're going to the customer's comfort level, and that's the point.
right. Yep. And
Indeed.
So I did the lesson.
Can I add 2 thoughts to this?
Sure.
One, in terms of trying to open up a second location or additional locations somewhere else, why bother? Most of our business is online anyway. The amount of energy, time, expense devoted to opening this for a little bit of marginal difference. Yeah, we're leaving money on the table in some ways, but it'd be hard to get money. 2, please don't suggest to people that if I moved to their city, we'd open up a shop there. Some people, Sean Smith, will be trying to convince me how wonderful their city is now, Rock.
Sean Smith has a very, very comfortable couch that Ian can happily sleep on. So he's going to open up a store
Cleveland,
in,
though.
I'm sorry
don't
for
go
Bill
dissing
Cleveland.
You're still missing the big factor why there's not a second location.
What's that?
Because that second location would have to be in the radius that Rocky drew on the map
Right.
that his car travels.
Right.
So if it's outside of that window,
So King of Prussia is about as far as we can go.
I don't- that's pushing it.
That is
I
pushing it.
thought it was basically you have to be in proximity of a Wawa, is what you're going to say. So
There's
like,
that
there's
too.
a Wawa.
You gotta be careful because those are in Florida now too.
There's multiple factors. No, when we moved from Phoenixville to our current shop. No, check that. When we moved from we were in Phoenixville at our shop, and Kelly and I bought our second house. We moved from a townhouse to the house that we're in now, and when we got the house, then we started talking about where do we want to move the shop, and she said, we can move down to the main line. We can move over to here. We'd maybe have a shop in Philadelphia, and she just came up with all these ideas as we were spitballing, and I said, nope. I am not going to sit in traffic. I am not going to drive that far. Hold on. And I got a map. And I was like, here's our house. Here's a 10-minute radius. This is what I'm willing to drive. I will not do any of that. And I did the math. Hold on a sec. I did the math. If I drive, essentially I drive 5 minutes to work every day. Love it. If I had to drive 40 minutes today, or 45 minutes, so an extra 40 minutes, whatever it was, I extrapolated out. If I do 6 days a week for for an hour and 20 minutes in the car each direction, I can work an extra 43 days per year by living this much closer to the shop than if I lived an hour and whatever away if I left at the same time and got home at the same time. So as a small business owner, hell no, I can get a lot more work done by living close. Period. End of story. Hell no.
So this is why you've been trying to convince us to live in the cots in the warehouse.
Exactly.
Well, there are other reasons too.
Yes.
See, and now I'm going to the Simpsons bit when it sounds like somebody's working for their car.
I owe my
Insert
soul
that clip
to the company
here.
store. Yeah.
I get
All right.
that.
Mr. Was that you or was that Ian?
I think
Which question was
That
that?
was Ian.
That was Ian?
Oh,
No, that was
No,
Mac.
it was.
That was
but,
Mac.
but it was.
Was it me?
It was
Yeah.
a question somebody else had asked earlier. So
Yep.
from Gammon.
So,
yeah, that's true.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
If
can-
you
can
see it
cross
again on the
off.
list, cross it off and go to the next question.
Okay.
Ian, next question. What do we got?
So from Irish Wonder Boy on YouTube, did you intend to be funny on the show?
No,
You think we're funny now?
we're not funny.
Funny at all.
I'm insulted.
Ask my wife.
This
We're
is
not
serious.
No, when we first started the show, it was the first few episodes. It was much more, a little bit more reserved, a little bit more trying to be Brooks Brothery kind of advice or fatherly advice, and much more, I won't say high tone, but a little bit more, stick up the rear end kind of thing. A little bit more direct and polite. But I quickly discovered that, I kind of knew I wasn't that polite. If the company is going to have a voice, so to speak, then that voice should be my voice, because I don't want to pretend to be something I'm not, because then I have to kind of turn it on or turn it off. So nope. It's you'll see if you look back through old shows, you'll see a distinct devolution of my of my posture, of everything else, okay, nope, it's just he's becoming who he actually is. And the person that I'm acting like right now on camera, this is who I am. If you come into the shop, if you call me on the phone, I'm going to be talking the same way. I curse probably a little bit more in real life than I do on the show, but it's very much I'm your fun uncle who happens to know more about kilts kind of situation.
You know what I think?
Please tell me.
I think that introducing the whiskey try might have been a pivot point for that.
That's a
little bit,
fair,
a little bit.
fair point.
I'm not saying that it's a liquid courage kind of
Loose lips
situation. I'm
make
just saying
funny?
that we just
No.
we took that it was the original point of the try was that people had something to do and watch while we're waiting for us to be
Yeah.
ready, because we weren't as on our game as we are now, and to loosen up a little bit.
Yeah, no.
So,
didn't we when we first started doing this, we were nervous. Period. This is it's not like a live audience where we're looking at people staring back at us, but it's still live, so there's still that little bit of pressure. I would say when we first started, we were still nervous. At least I was, and I do distinctly remember pre-gaming a little bit. A little tailgating, a little liquid courage before the show. Nothing excessive, but just to kind of calm it down a little bit, calm the nerves.
Okay.
Okay. I'd say the try, definitely we don't pre-game anymore because we're on air gaming.
Just game.
Yeah, we're gaming.
Yeah, they get a game.
Yeah, so it's. Yeah, what was the question?
Did you intend to be funny on the
Did
show?
we intend to be funny?
Not really.
We didn't intend to be funny. This is who we are. Period. So we're relaxed. We relaxed over time. We did not intend to be funny. No, we started off being very
Just friendly.
and regimented, and then we kind of just loosened up and kind of found our rhythm and kind of got into it.
I think the feedback we got encouraged that too. The more comments we got back of the more encouragement we got from people in the community. It was just like, okay, I guess they like us. They really like us. So we were able to just kind of chill out a little bit more.
Just go with it. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And the more you do it, the more you kind of you find your ruts in the road, so to speak. You find your lane and you just go.
The truth is, you really cannot take yourself seriously if you're doing this, because you're gonna make yourself look like an ass at some point. You know what I mean? If you're trying to be like, yes, I'm always on point and always professional and very calm and relaxed, something's gonna go wrong. You're gonna screw up at some point, and then what do you do?
Things go wrong all the time.
Yeah, so you just gotta lean into it.
Exactly.
I think that's we decided to lean into let things happen. It's like, remember when we tried to practice, make sure we wouldn't say
Oh yeah.
We tried to coach ourselves and
yeah.
we're trying to do this.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, Eric, every time you say I'm gonna snap my fingers, and I'm just gonna train you not to say between sentences. I'm just like,
nope, didn't happen. When we way
Didn't
back
work.
when it
Wonder
was
why.
I am like a squirrel. Like when you. I'm a dog who gets easily distracted with keys. So I've gotten to a better place with it. But I remember some of the shows when we did in the house where it's like we had the windows.
Yep.
The windows in the room were open. We had the air conditioner on, and I remember Lucas was off camera, and he would just be like looking out the window and seeing people coming in the parking lot, and he'd be making all kinds of gestures, and it'd be distracting the hell out of me. And I'd be staring at the camera like, Lucas, no, get the hell off! Stop doing that, Lucas.
Right.
I can't concentrate. And you could tell I was stressed out and freaked out, and I didn't know what was going on. And then I would yell at him after, like, why are you doing this? So we had to cover the windows so he couldn't look out. But now it's, last show, the camera stopped recording, and Jamie came over, and she's playing around thing, and I'm like, they're going to screw this thing up later. It's going to be their problem, not mine. So I'm a little bit more relaxed now. I'm still a bit uptight when it comes to certain things, but I'm learning.
Did you ever notice the rubber ducky that appears on the show sometimes as a joke? And we have what's the duck's name? Did we name it?
We gave it a name.
I thought we named the duck.
I don't know. Maybe we need to have a
Contest.
Bring the duck around, or no, you're showing it there, so okay.
Rubber
Yeah,
ducky,
the whole reason the duck is in the studio in the first place was because for a while when we were getting used to looking at the camera, he decided to have something on top of the camera. He's like, okay, just look at the duck.
Look at this black circle in the center of the room. Feels freaking weird. It's not natural.
So
it's
looking
not
at a rubber
thing.
duck was the solution.
Yes, we put a little tiny rubber ducky on top of there, so it now lives in infamy.
Mascot.
Yes, indeed.
I want to say it was like Cinderella or something. But,
It's a manifestation of his invisible friend. He always
Another
talks
one?
to ducks.
Invisible.
You're saying you have an
You
invisible
can't
duck
see,
friend.
John.
Oh, the duck just got a name. There you go.
what was
Patches.
it? Patches. The duck.
No, Patches the
is
bear is the ghost that lives downstairs.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Patches,
I know. You
yeah.
brought him over from Phoenixville, didn't you?
Yep.
Yeah, Phoenix Patches
It was-
followed from the
It
original
was
story.
Mr. Wasserman. Now it's Patches. Yep.
Okay.
Changed his name.
Mr. Wasserman
Ghost that haunted the Phoenixville shop. Yes.
was
I didn't
Mr.
realize that was
Wasserman.
in Phoenixville.
Was that based on an actual ghost?
It was Bill Reed, who is
Okay.
sensitive to such things,
Okay.
said that Kelly had seen. There's been a lot of late nights, and working. There's been a lot of late nights, and Kelly had
Lost Scott.
seen things out of the corner of her eye, or like there might be a ghost kind of thing.
Dun, 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 dun.
And Bill Reed, who's sensitive to such things, I will say, said like, yeah, I feel something in here. There's definitely something in here. I'm not confirming or denying, but Kelly named him Mr. Wasserman, and
okay.
when we moved here, this building, now not the second story, but this building has been here since the 70s. and there's. Did she feel? Was there ghosts in here or no?
Depends on who you want to ask.
Yeah.
There's
Okay.
been
Things have moved, or things have
been
late at night, 2 a.m.
yeah,
sewing
things
sessions.
go bump, and
Yeah.
they've production has named a few of them. So
Yes.
See, I just learned about this recently. I was surprised to discover this because I used to feel like there was some weirdness at times when we were a one-floor building, but the minute we did the construction, it seemed to have gone away. I haven't had any weird feelings in the building since
should
then.
have moved the bodies.
Yeah,
stones.
good point.
Well, there were those
Yeah.
toys I found in the crawl space in the attic when we were doing before we did the renovations.
Yep.
Mhm.
Yep.
And the fish
And
those came.
good
Maybe
stories.
maybe removing the little plastic toys I found
Yeah.
and the Christmas tree
Well,
I found.
If we want to
Took
go
the
that
curse
route,
off.
we've also on the same grounds of Penhurst, and people.
Yeah, Penhurst is right down the road. That's kind of creepy.
Don't tell people
Indeed.
that.
I got our Halloween content now. The haunted kilt shop.
Now they're tearing down a bunch of the buildings, taking all the asbestos out, and the ghosts will be free. They will travel here.
I want to do a piece called "The Story of the Haunted Kilt Shop."
Ghost tours of USA Kilts.
So
1999. Come in and see a ghost.
So you're saying asbestos is what keeps it? That's basically what the little pack that the Ghostbusters flew out.
Exactly,
It's just
yes.
wrapped in asbestos.
Yes, indeed.
All of New York City got cancer that year. Yeah. Or mesothelioma or whatever.
Yeah.
All right, Mr. Mack.
All right. So we have our good friend, Mr. Kinnaman, asking, "What is your favorite aspect of USA Kilts? The people, the heritage, etc."
Definitely, etc.
None. It's all
Kirk's-
a glorious, glorious hell that we all live in. Now, bring Mac and Ian back in. Mac? What is your favorite part of working here, aside from my shining face every morning?
Besides coming in at 3 in the morning, I mean, trying to get in at 3 in the morning, I've said it before.
hard.
What's that?
Don't think too hard.
Yeah. We've made it like a more of a family atmosphere here. So we'll rib each other in 1 minute, and next minute we're out in the street defending each other.
In the street?
I will go to the extent of when we used to play deck hockey, and there was one guy that was just all over Rocky, and I just came over there and I cleared house. I got the penalty,
Wow.
went straight to the box.
My hero!
Rocky dubbed me little bulldog that day.
Yeah. Mac playing deck hockey. Oh, that was a thing of beauty. He would run he didn't move that much, but when that man meant moving, when he got moving, he would just and the breath that would come out of him, and he would just bound down the thing and go at people. He was the bulldog. Yes,
Yep.
absolutely.
Mac's pretty calm, cool, collected most of the time.
Most of the
Most
time,
of the
yes.
time. And when he is starting to get worked up, he bottles it. He bottles
Oh,
it.
you can see on his
Oh,
face
yeah,
when
he's
he's kicked
nasty.
off, though.
But then it explodes sometimes.
Yep.
yes, yes.
It's like you drop the Mentos in the Diet Coke bottle and just shake it up. And just,
Aim and go. Okay, Ian, what is your...
Mac the Hulk.
yeah, it's the people here. I like pretty much everybody who works in this building, except for maybe Rob. Don't let him hear this.
Oh,
You would never watch the show anyway.
That's true.
Well, he hates you too.
He's
Ian.
old
It makes
true,
me feel
like-
any better.
Like even there's new people that just started this week, and I already relatively like them, I suppose. But even people who don't work here anymore, I just spent last Friday hanging out with some of them. So yeah, I don't know.
They're dead to me, but that's
Yes.
Yeah.
Rest in peace.
Mr. Eric.
I love basking in the golden light of the enlightenment which our true leader has brought to us. Long may he reign.
Careful, they're already calling you a robot in the comments.
Oh, you want me to I'll do the robot later. No, it's the people, it's the geek factor, it's the nerd factor. I came from a more corporate environment, and I swore at that time that I just didn't want to go back to that kind of horrible, political, nasty environment. So
Who does?
yeah, no. Well, if you're ambitious and the money's, you think you
It's about
rationalize,
the
well,
money,
the
yeah.
money's good, I need to put up with it. So it's like screw that. So yeah, coming here was a breath of fresh air, and it's the culture. I mean, it's like, where else am I going to find a job writing and recording and making art about the stuff that I do here. I mean, it's a dream job for a nerd like me, and most of the people who work here are nerds of some kind or another. So I feel totally at home here, in really cool ways. That's basically the bottom line.
Yeah.
So.
Now, for me, it's I'll hit three main points. One, it is now the community and everything that we are allowed or through having the marketing department, through everything else that we are building with the customers and the fun positive feedback that we get from customers. Believe it or not, coming from a customer service background, my whole thought process the entire time I've been building a company is, if you don't screw up, you don't have to have good customer service. Just don't screw up. So because we're not screwing up much, we have all kinds of nice comments, and it's almost off-putting or embarrassing the people. And Ian, you get this down in the store now. People saying nice things. You don't get many. Why is my order screwed up? You did this wrong. Da, 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 da. But it's generally beyond, it's the mill screwed up or something else. Mm-hmm. But there's the customer interaction. This it's not insurance. It's not something you need to buy. It's something that the customer is passionate about, that they're exploring, and we get to go on that journey with them. Mm-hmm. Number two, the thing that I learned right before we hired you was that the culture of the company means as much, if not more, than the customer. It's what we are building internally means as much as the community that we are building externally. We had an employee who shall remain nameless, who he was either Steve, damn you, Steve. He was either like over the moon, best, happiest guy in the world, or he was a miserable git. And we all had to walk on eggshells around him for days and weeks at a time. Yep. And it came to a point where I was just, I remember this light bulb moment of like, I hate going to work. I hate being around this person. Wait a minute. I'm the boss. I'm allowed to tell him not to be a jerk. Huh. It's a novel concept. And it ended up being the first person as a company, I take it as an L on my chest, an L, that I should have trained him better, but it was the first person we ended up firing. But when we did that, it was a switch in my brain that went off. That was like, oh wait, I have to steer the ship. We have to have the right mix of people internally who are going to get along. We have to make sure that we're leaving politics at the door, that we are leaving, jerk comments at the door. We're leaving, Eeyores at the door. And we want to have people who are happy to be here, who love this stuff, who at least geek out about something that somebody else geeks out about, so that we all get along and enjoy being here, 5 days, 6 days, 8 days a week. You spend more time of your life at a job than you do sleeping or with your family. So this is a default kind of family, and you have to enjoy that. And if you don't, what the hell's the point? Mm-hmm. And if I have the ability to steer that and make that happen for not only the other people in the shop, but myself as well, and make my own life easier and my own life more enjoyable, I need to do that. So the ability to steer the company culture in the last 10 years has become a very, very real thing. And I'm so happy that I thought about it back then, because as we grow and go forward, it becomes easier. I can't imagine having to, correct the ship now, so to speak. Mm-hmm. And the last thing for me, the thing that I like most is I get to do the stuff I want to do. I get to have fun. I get to make stupid marketing videos. I get to do shows like this and talk to all kinds of people. This is what I want to do in life, is just have fun at a job and get to make a difference doing something, so that, other people can benefit from said thing. Mm-hmm. So, yes, that's my answer.
You pretty much all said about the same thing.
Yeah. Indeed.
Slightly different perspectives based on what we do here, but
it is about the community, but it's about two communities, the outer and the inner. When you're here, the inner community matters probably more, but when you're on the outside looking in and coming in, that matters just as much to those people.
Right.
So it's all of it. Yes. All right, Mr. Ian.
All right. So Justin Lemon wants to know, and this might be a little bit similar to the question we had from Mr. Gammon over there, but it can be taken in a different direction. What is the future of the company? What do you see? What do you see going forward, other than opening up a location in Knoxville, Tennessee?
I think we kind of touched on this one, so I'll probably end up skipping it. It's basically it's just bigger, better, more. Doing similar
Faster,
type
stronger.
videos, but going off in different directions, doing different collaborations, just more fun stuff and better polished quality of said stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
Do you want to jump right into another
Yep.
one of these then? So from Caffeine Fiend on YouTube, what is your spirit animal?
All right, Mac.
Okay.
We're gonna go all of us. What is your spirit animal?
Are we going like actual animal, or are we going
Spirit animal.
Are we going like mythical?
Spirit animal.
Are we being serious or are we being goofy about this?
Have you
We
met
can, all,
us?
we can all take it our own way, I think.
Yes.
I going one of two ways.
Okay.
I could go bulldog, or I could go like just bull.
Okay. I could see you as a bull, as a spirit animal.
Both
Yep.
is similar.
Similar. Yes.
Yep.
I could see that.
I see that.
Okay. Ian.
When I was a kid, I was obsessed with bald eagles. Had bald eagle T-shirts. I think I liked how independent they seemed. Like I've
You should
definitely
see
been.
his full chest piece.
Yes.
Spectacular.
Honestly, when I was 10, I thought I was going to get that.
Right on.
There's still time, my
Yeah.
friend.
You should. Totally
Yeah,
should.
spent a lot of time in the North Woods of Wisconsin, and I just I think I'm that kind of person. I tend to be independent in my personal time. Like I go hiking by myself. I'm not looking for a group to go do that with. I like to be outdoors. So yeah, go bald eagle.
Okay. Eric,
What?
your spirit animal.
My joke answer was always wombat
Wombat.
because I love wombats. They're just
'Cause of
cool.
your beautiful
And they're
eyes.
adorable.
Okay.
And they
cute
poop
cuddly.
cubes. So yeah. But the actual answer is raven.
Is that true?
Yeah. Yes, they do. It is true. Wombats poop cubes.
Editor note. Pile of wombat poop. Inserted here. And picture of wombat. All right, my spirit animal. Ron Swanson.
I'm
Come on, you want to come up with a real animal?
Ron Swanson is my spirit animal.
Okay.
It's the disdain for authority. It's the disdain for government. It is the curmudgeonly old man, which I cannot wait to be. I'm just curmudgeonly now. I'm not old, too old yet. Yes, it is. Yes, he is my spirit animal.
Okay.
We have to stop invoking his name on this show.
That's
I'm
more
sorry.
like saying that's more like saying your hero, though, don't you think?
No,
he's a spirit
no.
animal?
He's
Okay.
not my hero. He's a spirit.
Okay.
I feel that
Okay.
on occasion.
Who is your hero?
Don't say
See,
yourself.
no, see, now I went to our discussion the other day. Michael Douglas in Falling Down. It gets like real dark real fast. The hero,
Real or fictional? I will accept either.
I would, as cheesy as it is, I will say my dad.
Right on.
He is the man I aspire to be.
Cool. That is incredibly cheesy.
Don't
But it's
care.
awesome. No, that's good. That's good.
He had great. The quote I gave them over there this morning. You said you've loved the quote. My favorite line. My dad had like Ragerisms. They were things that he said all the time, like sayings he made up. My dad's favorite line to intimidate someone or basically tell them knock it off is, "There's one thing you do not want. It is my complete attention."
That's upsetting.
Yes. Oh, it is very upsetting. And the fact that I look like him, like just even seeing myself out of the monitor, I'm like, yes, I felt him right there. It's the don't mess with me. I will mess you up and I will go at you and not stop.
Cool.
He was an attorney, so it kind of fit with the intimidation
Right,
factor.
right.
But yes.
Cool. Awesome.
Your hero, now we're gonna get into heroes.
Real life? I'll do real life. Real
Sure.
life would be my uncle
Okay.
for
Very
a
good.
lot of reasons.
Okay.
Now he led a truly adventurous life, which I have not lived up to. But he was living history person. He was a reenactor. He was an archaeologist. I'm acting like he's dead. He's not dead. He's still around.
Dead to you.
He
Blessings to peace.
he went on a archaeological trip to Israel once and slept at Masada and became friends with a bunch of Israeli tankers on a kibbutz. He was a taxi driver in Tijuana, Mexico for a summer job. He went on a dig in the Yucatan and had to walk out on foot with hepatitis. And spent a month in a hospital in Mexico City because of that.
That sounds like fun.
Yep, he was.
Where do I sign up?
I mean, no. Well,
The original survivor.
he definitely a survivor. He was also in Vietnam, but he was a survivor and adventurous and did his own thing. And he also planted Viking pottery in his backyard in Arizona so that future archaeologists would think that the Vikings made it to Arizona. So
It's kind of spectacular.
yes.
Yes.
So
Indeed. All right. Those are our spirit animals
I'm not gonna ask him.
and stuff. No.
Heroes? Okay.
Mr. Mac, what do we have going on in the comments?
Do you want to do that thing now?
Have there been
Which
things
thing?
to do the thing?
We can do the thing.
Sure, let's do the thing. About the thing.
There's a couple of things.
There's a lot of things.
There's a lot of things.
All right, the thing.
This is the lightning round.
Bum, bum,
Oh, okay.
Eric's like, I gotta put the drink down for this one.
Yeah, I got it.
I haven't thought enough
Ready.
about some of these.
All right, so it's one word answer, no elaboration, and we've got a couple of them now. All right.
Okay.
So I'll go first, then Ian, Eric, then Rocky.
Okay.
Okay.
Focus.
Favorite food? I'm gonna go chicken.
Stromboli? I don't know. I don't like that answer.
No backsies.
Here's my answer. It's horrible.
I didn't think about it.
Sushi.
Oh, that's a good one.
Shepherd's pie. With corn.
Oh,
A little crunch.
No elaboration.
band. Currently, I go Hailstorm.
Let's make no. We're gonna make this more interesting.
It's a
I'm
band.
dead. Tip. Not band. Give me album.
Oh,
one
album.
album.
All right, now we're
One
changing
album
to
of
album.
band.
Album?
Yes.
We could still do band later, maybe. But okay.
All right, so album. This is like we're going. This is the only album you're allowed to have.
Desert Island.
Yes.
So-
Desert Island album.
Desert Island.
I'm gonna go. Garth Brooks in Pieces.
Okay.
I don't want to be stuck on your island. I wasn't ready for this. I guess I would go with Aesop Rock's Mystery Fish.
What? I am not familiar with this.
Hip hop.
Oh, okay. All right. That explains it then. That's why I'm not familiar with it.
Okay.
Beethoven's Seventh Symphony.
Okay.
I'm not even joking.
Okay.
Yep.
Mine would be Dropkick Murphys, Sing Loud, Sing Proud.
Okay.
Beer. I'll go. Victory. Perma Pills.
Prima Pills?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's it.
Yeah.
Put
one
them
of
up.
those.
Put them up pills.
I'd go Noir et Blue from, I think it's called Big Oyster Brewing down in Delaware or Maryland.
I'm not a micro fancy brew person, so I'm just gonna say Guinness because I love Guinness.
I
And
thought you were going to say Coors Light.
well, there's that, but no, because my favorite
mountains on the
drink
can,
is
Joe.
one of my favorite drinks is a black velvet, and that's Guinness and cider.
Okay.
So it's perfect. Perfect.
Victory Brewing Company. Dirt Wolf.
Movie. Days of Thunder.
Go Mandy.
Go Mandy.
Mandy. I'm going to go with the movie Mandy.
Where's the Lost Ark?
Damn it, I'm torn. I got two.
I
And you
already
know what
your-
two.
Yeah.
I know your answer.
I'm breaking the rules. I'm going to give
Oh,
two, two answers. Tombstone or Boondock Saints.
Well,
If we're
that
doing a second one, I want to
Nope,
add in.
nope,
I had
nope,
a bloody
nope.
good time at House Harker.
Nope,
yeah.
you're not the boss. You
Yeah.
can't have a second one.
wow, that's
Back.
how it is.
All right. Hobby. I'm gonna go reenacting.
Oh, how do I just pick one?
I know. That's.
Hobby.
I had a few.
Lately, I've been bicycling the most. I'll
Hobby?
go with that one.
I don't have any hobbies anymore. I work here. Criminy. What?
You like
Going to
mushrooms?
cons, whatever.
I don't know. I don't have any. I literally don't have any hobbies right now.
Watching Full House.
That's things to aspire to.
Bushcrafting.
Okay. Deck hockey.
Okay.
How many tattoos? 2.
0 so far.
3.
2.
Celebrity crush.
Oh, what's her name?
My wife already knows this one, so I'm safe. I'm going Keira Knightley.
Oh, that makes sense. She looks like your wife.
Yep.
That was a very safe answer.
It was.
I'm drawing a blank on the name of the actress I'm thinking of. She plays Gamora in the Guardians of the Galaxy movies. Anybody know it?
Oh,
Say it out loud, Matt.
Zoe Salata?
No. I'm thinking of oh, I said Gamora. I said the wrong character name even. Oh, I'm so far off. The blue and purple one. Not the green one.
Karen.
Karen
yes.
Gillan. Yeah. Scottish, appropriately.
I'm not worried about my wife because mine is dead. Josephine Baker.
Okay. The crush is dead. You had me going for a second.
For the
there.
record,
I'm like, this is news, man. How do you drop it?
Oh yeah, that was
his wife
bad.
isn't dead.
That was bad grammar. Yeah.
Commas matter.
I'm like, how are you so cold right now, man? This must be fresh news. I saw her relatively recently.
Did you?
Is she also a robot?
Celebrity crush. I honestly don't know. Like, I don't have any.
Never really cared
weird
about celebrities.
Yeah, I don't care about celebrities. Kim Kardashian. I don't even know what the hell she looks like.
Oh.
No, I have no idea.
Get
No,
out.
I don't know.
Get out! Out!
I don't
I
think I
have
can't
no
think of any
boss.
like celebrities.
I think it's gonna go Ron Swanson again. For this one.
Ron Swanson is the right answer.
Is there anybody? Is there
No.
anybody?
Okay.
Trying to
No.
think of somebody alive who I could pick.
Inspire some weird.
I got one. I got one. It's. I think she's an interesting human, and I'd like to speak to her. And she's cute too. I'd say Jennifer Aniston.
Okay.
She's an interesting human. She's had a lot of interesting roles. I'd like
buy
to
that.
talk to her. How's that?
That's
Okay.
how I feel about Samara Weaving. I have no romantic crush on her in any way, but I loved every movie she's ever been in, except for Bill and Ted. I didn't like her in that.
Okay.
Got it.
Yeah.
That's a weird one. All right, Mac. This has been way too
Hugo
long. on that
Weaving's
one,
All right, now we'll go a little bit more closer to home.
Okay.
All right,
This is a very slow
color
lightning.
palette.
Color palette.
Color palette
I got
for
it.
kilts.
Yep.
I'm going muted.
Interesting choice. I think most people might expect me to say that actually, but I'm a weathered guy. I like the grays and
Muted.
the browns and the
Muted.
Sorry, I cut you off.
That's fine.
Muted.
I would say this. Either.
Damn it.
Wait, no,
don't-
you get 2 again? Two
okay,
again?
Okay, then fine. I don't have a color palette. My favorite tartans, Mac already knows what I'm going to say. My favorite tartans are ones that have multiple shades of the same color in them. Watch this space, maybe September 2nd. I'm looking at my watch here for a new tartan with multiple colors in it of the same color palette. So multiple shades of blue, multiple shades of green. Those are my favorite ones. So like
shades of purple.
Irish Heritage has 2 shades of blue or 2 shades of green, or St. Andrews has 2 shades of blue. So things like that. Tartans with multiple shades of colors are the ones that I tend to like.
Okay.
Indeed. Next.
Mill. I know this. This is,
Which mill?
I know which one I like to work with, and I know which one I like the
Yeah.
color palette.
I could answer this different ways depending
So-
on
Yes.
how granular you want to get.
I'm gonna go House of Edgar, just for the color palette.
Yeah, I'm gonna go. Same thing. Even though I like other things about other mills better, that's the one I always end up going back to.
Mm-hmm.
I have to agree. House of Edgar.
which child is your favorite? just go ahead.
We all pick.
It's I like Martin Mills for some, and I like House of Edgar for others. They're my
Yeah.
favorite too.
That's the two that I was down
Yeah,
between.
yeah.
Lock Heron
For
belongs
working
on this
on
list as well.
Martin Mills, 100%. For color palette, House of Edgar. For weight, Martin Mills has more 16-ounce stuff, so it's
Yeah.
all whippity wobbity.
The ironing that Martin Mills.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, that's nice.
yes,
I
indeed.
really like the hand feel of the Strathmore too, though.
Strathmore and Loch
This is a
Heron
lot-
is
this is a lot
softer
of-
and
how
it
many of
lays
these
down
are
nice
there?
and flat.
That was all. That was the
That's
last
it. That's
one.
all
was
the
the last
lightnings.
one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Unless
Okay.
you have one you want to add in, or okay. That was the last.
Favorite style of hat?
Baseball cap.
Flat cap.
Beret.
Flat cap, 100%. All right, Ian. Next question.
Okay, I'm gonna read this exactly as it's been written here,
Uh-oh.
from our friend Kirk Kinnaman.
Again?
Yes. Okay. What's origin of the candy thing?
What's the origin of the candy
Thing.
thing that we include with the packages? Okay. The origin of the candy thing. For those who don't know, if you order from USA Kilts, you get a little bag of candy and along with your order. One of the things that I was trying to think of is we're trying to have a good customer experience, whether in the store, whether you're ordering online, whether you call us on the phone. We want to have a consistently good customer experience. For those people that never meet us, never come to the store, never get to talk to Mackie and whoever, how do we give them that little smile when they get their order? So I'm not claiming the idea as my own. We got one of the companies we order our store fixtures from sent us candy, and I was just like, that's it. Candy. We're going to send out candy with every single order or as many orders as possible. It's not every single one. We try our best. But we want to send out candy with every single order, so that way when they open it up, whether it's a pair of Kiltos or flashes, or whether it's a full 8-yard package, that they open it up and they smile. There's something about getting candy, old-timey grandma candy, but there's something about getting candy that you're just like, yes, I get candy, yes. So that's kind of the origin of the candy thing, is just trying to impart a little bit of the personality, the flavor, no pun intended, that we have in the store remotely to those who open packages
Yeah,
from us.
it's a thank you gift.
Yeah.
It's like a tiny way of saying thank you.
Yeah,
So-
exactly. It's the thing that I find most amusing by far is the fact that it's kind of taken on a life of its own, and it's become, hey, I got a candy order today, and I happen to get these Kiltos, or I happen to get this Kilt.
That is, yes.
The one that I love it magnifique because I get to rubber nose in it. My wife thought this was the dumbest idea ever. It was like, hey, I'm gonna order hundreds of dollars of grandma candy and hand them out to people. And she was like, this is stupid. No one cares about the damn candy. And then when my wife joined the Facebook group, she was just like, I can't believe how many people are talking about your stupid freaking candy. It's like, yup. Men love candy. So it's the fact that the candy has almost taken a life of its own, and it's not taken a life of its own, taken on a life of its own. Murderous candy that we send out, assassins with every single kill to kill. No, the candy has taken on a life of its own, and it's just become a thing. It fills me with joy to know that she is dead wrong and I was so right.
Wow. It's going to get you right here, doesn't it?
Yeah, it gets you right in the cockles.
Yeah.
Of
course.
No, it's fun making people's day and they don't expect it or see it coming.
It's like you and Maureen O'Hara in A Quiet Man.
Exactly, and proving my wife wrong.
Yeah.
It's the trifecta. It really is. All right. Anything else to add to the candy?
No, it's just my brain went to, the origins of the candy thing was the time that the Fantastic Four went to the dimension controlled by, Bizarro, and the thing was actually literally transformed into Hard Rock Candy, and they almost didn't escape because they had to cross this river and he almost melted, but the stretch guy pulled him out of the water.
Thank God they had the stretch guy.
guy.
Yes, indeed.
What was his name?
Mr. Fantastic.
Mr.
I think?
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
that was my name.
Candy thing.
Mister.
I'll say as somebody who does customer service, I absolutely never get annoyed when you guys email in and complain that you didn't get your candy.
That is
Never, not once.
weird.
I did recently insinuate to a customer who did this that he's lucky he didn't get coal because Rocky and Santa have a regular poker game and they share information.
Yep. Yep.
We insult our customers on a regular basis, apparently.
In the
All right.
old Highland manner,
Exact. As you do.
as you do.
Mr. Mack.
All right, so we have a longtime viewer. Well, I don't know how long she's actually been viewing us.
She's
but,
97 years old.
but comes from the big town of Boyertown. Brittany Tara is asking. Well, she actually asked two questions. We'll put it in a two-part.
What time is my husband coming home? Yes. And why do you make him work so much?
Who is your longest employee? Which we could take that as how long we've all been here for. And she also wants to know, who is your favorite employee?
Wow. Gee, Mac, why did you let that question through?
I know what his answer is going to be.
Oh, you do you?
I have a good idea what his answer is going
Oh,
to be.
okay. Okay.
Do you?
He's going to be like, you all suck, get out.
I am the favorite employee.
We knew
No.
that was the answer.
All right, Mac. How long have you been here?
I think we've determined 2008.
You're approaching 14, right?
Sure.
No one knows how long Mac started here. How
Just
long
appeared
ago?
one day.
Yes, he just kind of appeared out of the mists. Much like the origins of the kilt itself. There is no origin. There's only stories about the origin.
Manifested out of a pile of scrap tartan.
Exactly. He's kind of like Venom. He just kind of attached to me. You know?
He's like an elf. Yeah. You're a Tomten.
No, Mac's origin story, so to speak. We'll go into origin stories. We'll do that.
Okay.
So Mac's origin stories. He started dating this spry young lass who was a customer of ours. Her name may or may not be Brittany Tara, from the Phoenixville area. And I remember him coming into the store because she told him, "You got to see this shop in downtown Phoenixville." And he came in and we just started talking. And I was like, "Hey, I sew. Really? Bring in some stuff. I'd like to see what you sew." And then it was kind of under penalty of death. He had to work here.
Yeah, it was, here, do you think you can make a kilt?
Yeah.
My answer was, doesn't look too hard.
No, Mac used to work at Life Touch. He was a photographer before working here, and he was working, essentially part-time because they'd off in the summers and that kind of stuff. It's the companies that, go around and take pictures of... Yes, we'll do the joke. You get to shoot kids, da da da. They
less funny with
it's school photography, shall we say? So he started working for us in the summer, and then it was kind of one of those like, I don't want Mac to go away. Mac, you need to work here full time. So that was Mac's origin story, and that was 2008-ish,
Ish,
somewhere in there.
Yeah.
We're not quite sure because we weren't really keeping records. Ian, when did you start?
That sounds about right, because when I started in fall of 2013, right after Celtic Classic, you guys were at that time saying Mac was about 5 years.
Okay.
So I always remember Mac is 5 ahead of me.
Okay.
I'm approaching 9 here, so I'm guessing Mac's pushing 14.
And what did you do before this?
Immediately prior,
We sucked you in.
immediately prior, the company I'd been working for had gone out of business. But I worked for Quality Build Equipment. We were doing cardboard balers.
Okay.
My background's in education, though.
No, Ian had a background in education. He was doing like hardware kind of stuff, and then he came in as a kilt maker, and now he's a store manager. Mr. Eric,
What?
when did you show up on my doorstep as a stray?
I don't remember.
And
Somewhere between these two.
it was when we were in this
Yeah.
building, so it had to be after
I remember
2010.
I wanted to come in. I wanted to see this store, and you'd said we're not open right now because we're moving to a new building. I was like, okay, and that was like I don't think it was like 6 months or a year after that. I actually came into the store.
Okay.
Yeah. So I don't know what year that was. What year did you move into this building?
I think it was 2010-ish,
Yeah.
let's say.
So it would have been 2010 or 2011.
Sounds about
around
right.
there.
Yeah.
The what were you doing before? What's your background?
Well, I was born in Marin County Hospital. I had been in a marketing job, advertising, and then got laid off. And then we had our second kid, and we realized we could really use somebody to stay at home. So I was doing the stay-at-home dad thing,
Okay.
and which was cool, but money was really tight. So I was like, I should probably find some part-time work. So I came in there and saw you and Kelly. Kelly was a person that actually was helping me in the store, and I bought a kilt pin, and basically made the joke. And I was like, I don't suppose you guys you need any help around here, ha ha ha. And you or she said, actually,
She,
actually we
100%
do. And so I came back a week later or something with a resume, and we did a quick interview, something like that.
I remember it slightly differently.
Well, I have a horrible memory, so that's not surprising.
Fair point. Yes, he does. So do I, but not for this. I remember Kelly coming into my office saying, "There's a guy who came into the store, and he was he could be a good employee. He seems like he would like this kind of stuff." And I said, "Okay." So she had your number, and
Yeah.
we didn't have a resume because you were just talking about stuff, and she took
Right.
down your number. It was Sue, which is Kelly's mom, who used to work in the store, and you had come in and talked to her and Sue, Kelly and Sue.
Right.
And I called you and said, "Hey, why don't you come in and we'll have a chat?" This
Yeah.
isn't an interview; it's just kind of a chat. So
Right,
you
right.
didn't bring
That's
in
kinda
a
what I meant.
resume.
Yeah, okay.
It was just a let's feel each other out, kind of like, hey, let's see how we get on.
I
kinda
remember,
thing.
I
a
remember
little
the layout
inappropriate.
because I came into the back and your sewing machine was in the corner, that far corner. I remember
Yep.
sitting in.
And you sat right next to the sewing machine. We just kind of
Yeah.
chatted for half hour kind of thing.
Right. Talked about marketing.
Yep, talked about all kinds of different stuff. And Eric went home, and then I talked to Kelly, and I was like, "Yep, no, you're right. We definitely need to hire him. He'd be great for the store." So I think I specifically emailed you, and said, "Hey, we'd love it if you want to have a job here. We're looking for part time or whatever. You want to come in?" And you had said, "Well, look, I don't think I'm ready, or maybe not." Or things got busy or something like that. And I remember emailing specifically. I wish I could dig through my emails and find this. I remember emailing you and saying, "I'm not letting you off the hook that easy.
Right.
Yep. I remember
Yep,
that.
I remember
I'm
that.
not
I
letting you
remember
off
that
the
line
hook that
too.
easy. We're gonna figure this out. We'll make this work. What days can you work? What can you do? How can you come in?" And then it was you said no, and I was like, "Nope, not letting you go." And then he ended up starting, and the rest is history.
Ta-da.
Pretty much every time you ask him to do something, it's the same thing. Eric, can you put together this video content? Nope, not going to do it. Okay, let's talk about it. I'm not letting you off the hook that easy.
That's how he manages the business in general. Yeah. Yeah.
It's a lot of groveling involved. No, but yeah, that's how I remember your start
Yeah, it was mostly
to the
that.
business. Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
I just started. That's how I started. It's not really an origin story. I was working in, I had worked in customer service for a website company. They laid off my entire department. Then I worked for one of the companies that they had done the customer service for, which is called Blades Board and Skate. Due to my snowboarding and skateboard knowledge and that kind of stuff, as a retail store manager, assistant manager in training kind of thing, or assistant manager in training. And then when that company started having financial difficulties, I had started doing this on the side a little bit already. And at some point, I just kind of said, "Nope, I got to go," because I was working essentially 40 hours a week at that job, and then 30 or 40 hours a week at this job. And then I said, "Okay, well, if I quit that, it was a good time to jump." As an entrepreneur, as a business owner, that's the biggest, scariest thing, is going from a steady paycheck from somebody else to it's all on you. So finding the right moment to pull that switch and to jump, which is why I say I can't do it now. Like to restart a new company now in my 40s versus in my 20s, it's a lot scarier. There's a lot more things on your plate. So that was kind of my origin story, but that's why I was always focused on customer service, focused on website design, focused on all the little minutia that kind of make the machine go to make it go better. Favorite employee?
Blue.
I've completely forgotten.
No. Favorite employee? I'm gonna go a little random,
Okay.
because I pick on her, but I love her. Casey. She's my favorite employee because she takes it with a grain of salt. Because I pick on her. I can't pick anyone in this room because that would be weird. For the rest of the show.
It's already
But no,
it's weird no
Casey.
matter what.
Yes, it's Casey. 100% it's Casey. Hands down. Everyone else, can't hold a candle.
The person
My
that
case.
you didn't hire the first time she applied.
She's not my employee. She's a business partner. There's a difference.
Oh, and Casey.
Oh, Casey. Oh, yeah. she like failed the tests of something, and we didn't even interview her the first time she applied. She applied a second time. Yeah, I didn't know that, but apparently, yes, we didn't even
Called us
give her a
out on it
second
a year
thought.
after starting here.
Exactly. So, all right, that was you. All right, Mr. Ian.
Okay, what is the funniest thing that has ever happened at the store while it's been open? Like any April Fool's jokes or pranks, etc.
Mac. Funniest thing that's ever happened.
That we're allowed to say on air.
That's where I'm struggling here.
See, I'll start this while they're both thinking about it. I'll start this by saying there's nothing specifically necessarily an individual thing that jumped out to me. It's kind of like we just have fun doing what we're doing.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
meetings devolve into us making each other laugh, and we go way the hell off topic.
Yep.
Much to the chagrin of many of the other marketing people in the room right now, who are like, "Will you shut the hell up and let us out of this meeting?" We just kind of have fun doing what we're doing on a daily basis. But if you had to pick one funny, obscure, random moment of being here,
I don't know. We've had interesting things with animals. We've had when we first not that interesting.
kind of getting creepy there, Mac. You may want to elaborate.
We had the chipmunk that came to the front door when we first moved here.
Okay.
We had the snapping turtle that appeared in the
In the warehouse somehow.
in the warehouse somehow.
Yes.
I have a picture
But
of
there's
that.
no like active
Yep.
streams around
Yep.
us. And then there was when they were putting the second story on, and the groundhog was outside, and me and Rocky debated on how to get the groundhog into the trailer.
The contractors, basically the lower level contractors were in charge of locking up the trailer at the end of the night. They would often leave the back, the door
left it
down on
wide
the trailer
open.
wide open all night. So there's a groundhog that lives back there, and I wanted to get it into the trailer so that way when they opened it in the morning, it would jump out at the contractors, angry and scared at Cody, and have him completely piss himself. Yes, that would have. See, it never happened, but it would have been glorious.
We tried.
Yes, we did.
We didn't.
Yeah, lower it into the. Come here, groundhog. All right, Ian.
Yeah, it's we laugh a lot around here. I can't think of one like really good story-worthy moment. I really enjoyed though when we did the elf videos many years ago. At this point, those were a lot of fun to do in general. They can be found online somewhere.
Oh, they're there.
They're buried.
They're buried, but they're there.
I'd say lately the times I've laughed most are at things that one of the store employees, Emma, says. She's brutally funny. I don't know if customers get to see that side of her, but
She's got
probably
dry humor.
she's the
Yeah.
funniest person in the building, in my opinion.
Cool. I don't know. I have such a horrible memory. I mean, yeah, filming the elf video was one of the most fun things we ever did, and then being knocked over by your son with a camera, and him and during that same session when he got, I don't know if it was your idea or not, but putting him in the box full of styrofoam worms
Yes,
and the mess
Styrofoam-
that made.
they're all the S's. He
Yeah.
kept calling the styrofoam
Yeah, and he was
worms
doing
S's.
snow angels in the
Yes.
in the styrofoam. That was probably one of the funniest things. That was the most adorable things. One of the most bizarre things was when I almost fell down the elevator shaft. That was horrible. So that was not a good day.
It wasn't, but it sticks in my memory. When we put on the second story, we put a ladder to go up through the elevator shaft to get up to what would be the second story and like all the flatness that was up there. I remember Mac specifically getting up to the second story, having the entire second story open, and Mac going, "Not going to be big enough." And I'm like, "Shut up! I just added 6,000 square feet on a freaking building. You're telling me not big enough?"
He was right.
Yes, he is right. Shut up. But, when we were going back down, Eric slipped, and I remember him looking up. And he ended up straddling, like, one of the supports.
Yeah.
So he didn't,
barely.
fall down to the first floor.
But I was.
But the look of the fear in your eyes, it still burned into my brain.
This is not funny.
I know it wasn't funny.
I was hanging on by like a toenail.
No.
It was terrifying.
You straddled the thing. You didn't die. But did you die?
Yeah.
That was funny-ish.
Literally almost fell down an elevator
Almost
shaft.
death is hysterical. It wasn't like it was 12 stories. You would have just,
We just had a couple of broken legs. Yeah, that's the big deal with that.
So mine would be either something along the lines of that.
Something along the lines of me almost breaking my legs. Yeah.
Yes, a lot of death.
Yeah.
The other, I didn't really have any funny because it's all funny. Like it's
all funny.
People are all like they amuse me. Like amuse me, peasants.
When
That
you're a
time I
sociopath-
proved my wife
sociopath.
wrong.
No, the things that stick out, like when I was trying to think of funny, like I'm laughing at it now, but it wasn't funny at all the time. What two things? One, it's scarring, but now it's freaking funny. Of him flashing me at Celtic Classic while kneeling down to measure a customer, and two, me working at Celtic Classic and Mac texting me pictures of the outside of the building where the little thing,
up.
the electric box on the outside of the building, like where the energy company
Junction
sees
box,
the dial, the junction box, it sees it going around. Mac's like, hey, don't mean to, distract you while you're busy at the busiest weekend of the year, talking to hundreds and thousands of people, but building kind of caught on fire. So photo, and I think we have it somewhere, so we'll insert it at some point,
we got it.
of that electric junction box just like black. And Kelly, there was, the fire police were called. Like it was a big thing, and I wasn't even here. I'm like, yep, shop almost burned down. Okay, who's next to be measured? So good times, good times.
Yeah, it's still the one thing that sticks out in that scenario is I walked outside because lights were flickering like crazy,
As they do when the building's on fire.
and I'm like, what is going on? And I see the junction box flex out and flames shooting out the sides, and then suck back into the building.
Whoa.
I go inside and I was like, all right, I gotta call the fire department. I get out the phone book and go, fire department, which one do I call? And I'm sitting there, and all of a sudden the realization
He's that
of,
old, folks.
oh crap,
There's a number.
there's
for
a number
this.
I need to do for this.
If I had to dial a number, an emergency.
It should be something easy to remember.
Yes.
The customer that was in the store was a firefighter, and then
Yep, you're screwed.
all the fire companies show up. Everyone comes in, and Kelly just walks through the building, and they all freaked out because they're like, how did you get in? She's like, I came through the front door. Once everyone left, me and Kelly walked back through the building, and there's a candle burning on the front counter from where Sue used to light candles up there all the time. Oh, God. No one bothered to blow the candle out.
No, just the electrical fire.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Yes.
One was more pressing, to be
Yes.
fair.
Yeah. Fair. All right, Mr. Mack, who do we have next on lines? We're running a little bit long today. Don't care. Run it till the wheels fall off.
Is there anybody there?
Is there anyone still
There's like
there?
5 people
They're all
left.
bored.
It's like-
I'm gonna flip this back over to Ian for a minute.
Okay. Mac hasn't been paying attention to the news.
Actually,
Yeah,
there is
catch
somebody.
back
There's
up.
lots of stuff coming in. He's just not reading it.
Okay. Better order a
Okay.
pizza or something.
So, how has the Kilts and Culture live and Facebook group impacted sales? Did you see a big uptick?
I would say this: the company. It's difficult to say. The company has grown, since essentially inception all the way through now. It's continued to grow. So it's not just the show that we're doing. It's not just the questions we're answering. It's not just the group. It's also the other marketing efforts we're putting in. It's also the business cards we're handing out. It's also the customer relations. It's also the repeat customers. It's all of it. It's kind of
Word of mouth.
adds to the soup. So you can't just say this one thing had this impact. I wish you could, because I could, gauge how well things are doing or not. But from the inception, it's always been my mentality of I don't want to monetize on it. We're not putting commercials out. We're not putting, hey, right now you could buy for $9.99. It's not that. It's not an infomercial. It's not QVC. It's just building a community. That's honestly what the whole thing has been about. And you guys out there viewing this kind of stuff, they have a little bit more sense in the room than you guys do out there. But knowing my heart, knowing my mind, it's always been about just building this and supporting the whole thing and getting it to a broader people and allowing more and more people to have fun with it and to experience it, to do it the right way, to understand why you do certain things, to experience the culture, to just kind of taste it and feel it, and kind of the tapas menu that we are creating here. It's always been about just building the whole thing, not at the exclusion of our competitors, not at the, it's all about just making it rain more for everybody. And the rising tide lifts all boats kind of mentality. The more people know about it, the more Celtic festivals are going to be, the more family connections are going to be, the more Ancestry.com is going to, have more people looking for things. It doesn't matter. It's all about all of it. It's about having fun with it. It's about experiencing your family heritage. It's about connecting with other people. It's about connecting with your own family. It's about all of it. It's never been about... It's been about us, but it's not been about us. That's not the point. The point is that all of this should live on, and we're trying to take the ball that we are given and just push it forward and give it to the next generation and ensure that these types of things, these conversations, these questions, all of this is put out there infinitum. These videos will live forever, and that's the point, is that people 20, 30 years from now will be able to watch this stuff and say, oh, that's how they did it in the 2010s. I wish that these kind of videos existed, or this kind of evidence existed beyond just like store catalogs back in the 1920s, back in the 1880s, back in the 1700s, so that we could look back and see those things. So we're just kind of taking a snapshot in time of what we are doing now and how we are expressing ourselves now and the connections we are making now as expats, as the diaspora, not necessarily of Scotland, but bringing that into the discussion as well, and giving a moment in time of this period and saying forever this will exist, and that you can look back on it and people later on can look at it and say, oh, that's how it was, and this is how we do it now, and they can then pull it forward. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
Love you, man.
Love you too.
No, basically.
Yeah. All right, Mr. Mack, have you found any other questions?
We have Anthony just asked us a question from the YouTubes. He said, are you guys planning on doing some events out of state?
Yes, but you're not invited.
I don't
Get
travel.
outta here. Yeah.
Remember that circle we talked about?
Yeah, that circle, the 10-mile radius. Yeah, that's it. No, it's for out of state, not many. No.
Yeah.
At this point, no.
As of
We
now,
used to
no.
do a couple out of state. We've kind of toyed with the idea. Do we want to have to pull out my inner Star Trek? We want to have an away team at some point of a few people that will go to Grandfather Mountain or at a festival in Colorado, Estes Park, or if go to something over there or whatever. Maybe at some point in the future. Currently, it's not in the cards because we have a lot of freaking things going on. Mm-hmm. It's very, very difficult to plan things. Yeah, the train's coming down the tracks. It's difficult to plan to grow things when every plan we have, what's your line? No plan survives first contact with the enemy.
Right.
It's as soon as we plan to do something, we do it, and then 10 other things pop off, and it's like, oh my God, there's so much stuff to do. Mm-hmm. So it's balancing daylight versus number of employees versus budget and money coming in to be able to do all the things. So yes, we want to be able to do things out of state. We want to be able to do hundreds of other things, but it's not always possible at this point. Watch this space maybe at some point, not right now.
Yeah.
That was a much nicer answer than I thought you were going to give.
I'm only a jerk to you guys. I'm not a jerk to them.
I was expecting something more like, we did it once or twice, and that's why we don't do it anymore.
But I'll throw in a plug for the fact that we will be at our one and only festival we do work, Celtic Classic, last weekend of September this year, and we'll be doing a live show there.
Yes.
So September 24th, we'll be doing this with people out in actual audience, like talking
2 p.m.
at 2 p.m.
Yes, September 24th, 2 p.m., Celtic Classic. Be there. Please, we need people to ask questions live and in person. It's going to be fun. It's going to be our first live show with a live audience. It's going to go off the rails. There will be video evidence after the fact. We want it to go off. It always goes off the
This is
rails.
gonna be like the three of us and Kirk, just like one chair and the guy like, woo!
And a large bottle of scotch.
Bethlehem, Pennsylvania.
Yes.
in
indeed.
Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, September 24th.
Be there, be there, be there. Saturday.
Your ticket pays for the whole seat, but you only need the edge.
Indeed. All right, Mr. Mack, we'll do. Well, what do we got next? Go.
Well, we did have a couple of questions earlier about how many people we actually have working here, because they know we're a
Lost count.
They know we're a smaller company,
Yeah.
so it's
My job in the last 2 years, I've become a full-time hiring agent. Now it's I'll get like real for
Make
a
it
second.
quick. Make it quick.
No, we had from 2003 to 2020. We built up slowly over time. We went from essentially me and my wife in 2003 up to I think it was 17 people was the height of the number of people we had, and then 2020 hit. When 2020 hit, I had the single hardest day as a business owner ever, where I essentially laid off half the staff because sales went off a cliff, and nobody knew what was happening. Nobody knew what was going to happen, and it's to this day it twists my gut. After that, it kind of got back on track, as everyone else has seen. It kind of through April, May, it started coming back, and it wasn't as quite as dire as everyone thought it was. So we started bringing people back, but we went from 17 down to 7 or 8 people.
Yeah, like 8.
Was it 8?
yeah,
We went from 17 down to 8,
Only 4 in
and
the building.
then it kind of through, as a lot of businesses have experienced, thank God, as a lot of businesses experienced, it went, the rubber band effect, and it kind of snapped back after that initial plummet. So we went from 8 people, and we're currently at like 23, 24 kind of numbers. I don't even know,
I think
because
we
we
have
just had
11 in production now.
Yeah, we have 10 or 11 people in production. We have, 4 people dedicated to marketing. We have 2 people in the IT department. We have 6 or 7 people downstairs. We have me and Kelly. We have, now we have a office manager, Allie, who is a kilt maker who moved over there. So it's been crazy. Let me tell you how much I hate trying to hire people. It is... Personal
Yeah.
tip from me to you: if you ever apply for a job, please, for the love of God, send a cover letter. Your resume doesn't tell people as much as you think it does. If you really want the job, send a cover letter telling people why you care about that particular business, that particular company, not just another job. It's the job for you. End of PSA, period. But
Yep.
no, it's just kind of been this weird slingshot effect. So it's... The biggest challenge has been maintaining the company culture and making sure we are hiring the right people and the right mix of people inside the building as we quickly ramp back up.
Yeah.
And maintaining the feel, the vibe that we currently still have as we go forward.
Yep.
It's fun. It's exciting. It's great. It's like, you have new friends as you're bringing different people into the company. But it's stressful because you have to find new people to bring into the company. Mm-hmm. Yes.
A little cray.
A lot. Great. All right.
It's not
Mr. Ian.
It's not like in the movies where you assemble the team in a montage.
If it was, that'd be
Wouldn't that be nice?
glorious. Yes. But I will say
How much
this.
time we got left?
We've been extremely, lucky with all the people that we have working in the building. Okay, so here's what we're going to do next. We asked the people, the members of the Kilts and Culture Facebook group, what does the KNC Facebook group, what do the community, what do the members, what does this show, what does all of it mean to you? We got video responses, and without further ado, here is what we received from you guys.
Hey Kilts and Culture, hard to believe I've been a member for over 4 years.
I'm very honored to be a part of this 5-year journey.
It's been an incredible experience watching it grow to nearly 20,000 members that we have today.
And I wanted to say how much I really appreciate all the videos that you guys put out.
I appreciate the fact that although we all have different ancestries, we come together for a common kilt culture.
The Kilts and Culture Group has been a great contact point, a good image of what positive community can be, even in the social media sphere.
It's probably had more effect on my kilt wearing than anything else in my life.
And it's helped me so much in my own confidence.
It helped me out a whole lot with my heritage.
It highlights who I am as a person.
It means a lot to me, and I'm sure it means a lot to my great-grandmother.
The Kilts and Culture Group is inspiration.
It's education, it's encouragement, it's enthusiasm, and it's an exchange of ideas.
To me, KNC is more than just a social media group. It's a family. I'm honored to consider Kilts and Culture my clan.
My strangers, 'cause I'll always be your friend until the end.
So thank you to everyone who has put those videos forward to us. I appreciate every single one of you that did that. I was kind of shocked at the response we got in a good way. So I will pose this last question to Eric and myself. Posing myself a question sounds weird. Don't care.
Okay.
What
Ow.
does...
Ow.
Stop
it.
So what does the community, what does the show, what does all of this mean to you?
On top of everything that we've talked about already, everything I said about the company, about it being a community and like a family of people who I like and nerds and stuff that you can connect with just on an immediate level. I've felt that in the group and also with customers who've come in. I have had some amazing experiences meeting people who had stories to tell. When I've met customers who came into the store. Like I met a guy who did a around the world motorcycle trip. I've met veterans from various conflicts over the years. I met a DJ once who met Bob Marley and Salvador Dali and all these famous people and all kinds of amazing stories, because I'm a sucker for stories. I'm a writer, so that's what really matters to me. And just the number of amazing individuals who are in this community is just blows my mind. It's just there's such a variety of awesome people. I think that's it.
No, I completely see that. I completely understand. It's the breadth, even through our Kilt ambassadors and stuff like that. Just talking to people and getting to hear their stories is amazing in general. The thing, if I'll go minorly selfish with my answer. The thing that surprised me, shouldn't surprise me, but does surprise me, is that people get it. They understand what we're trying to do, and they almost understood it more than I understood it. When we first started doing this, we didn't have a clear goal. We've never been that organized. We didn't have a clear goal of exactly what we wanted to do. We just knew we had to start. We knew we had to start going. We knew we had to build something, period. And when we started doing the videos, it was just, are people going to understand what we're trying to say, what we're trying to do, what we're trying to give? We're not trying to be selfish and grow the company. We're trying to build a movement, a community, all of it. And people started getting it and understanding. And that, to me, was the connection through video form, not even in person. Just the video connection of people getting it and commenting was weirdly amazing, amusing. Like, I love the fact that people were getting what we were doing and inspired us to do more stuff. Right. And it inspired us to start the community. And then when we built the community and put it together, we had that nervousness of, are people going to be rude? Are they going to follow our lead? Are they going to be jerks to each other? Are they going to support each other? And do they understand the level of love and positivity and all this kind of stuff and celebration that we are trying to put together and put out there? Are they going to get it? And they did. And people started joining the community, and it was just the support for one another. It wasn't, you're doing that wrong. It was, hey, you look great. Do you mind if I give you one minor bit of advice or one minor thought on the outfit? And people just positively supporting each other. And they kind of took it further than I thought they were going to take it.
Yeah.
And I didn't expect them. I expected to have to be driving the community and showing them this is no, this is the thing we're trying to do, more than they would do it themselves. But the mantle that all of the members put on themselves and said, nope, we got this, and just kind of drove it, and it became its own thing. We didn't have to drive the community. We didn't have to tell them what to do. They just kind of instinctively got it and instinctively built it. And they're supporting us, supporting them. So the fact that it's a party that we are hosting, but all these little conversations are happening, and we have nothing to do with it. All we did was host the party. All we did is light the match. That's it. And y'all took over. That is the thing, to me, that is the most impressive with everything that we've done. I feel weirdly like a proud dad who is watching his son play in the NBA, NFL, whatever. It's watching it go without having to do it, and without doing it yourself or needing to do it, needing to push it. It's taken on a life of its own. And that is the thing that is most impressive to me from all of you, and the love that we are all kind of sharing and building as we build this community. That is the thing that like hits me right there.
Yeah. So everybody came into this because there was a need that they felt, and now they're supporting each other.
Yeah.
I think the amount of mutual support I see in the group, and let's not forget the mods. We have an amazing group of people who are shepherding stuff. That's been the thing. There was a need, it got filled, and now people are keeping it going as a family. It is a clan. Kilts and Culture, the Facebook group, is a clan.
Yeah. I'm happy for the videos that we got and the way that the people phrased their answers, because it's exactly what I wanted to hear. It's not about what we are doing necessarily. It's about the space that we are creating for all of us to express our heritage, to have fun with it, to explore different relationships and that kind of thing, and just letting it go. So kudos. And in all honesty, and I say this as non-pandering as possible, we couldn't do this without you guys, and we appreciate everything that you do and the support that you show and the community that you guys have built, period.
Yeah.
So with that, we're now going to switch from this heartstringy kind of thing that we are doing, and we are going to give you the side-by-side, the Easter egg for the end of the show. Please enjoy this, because it was more fun that we should have had doing it. Slanjava, guys.
Slanjava.
Whatever happened to predictability? The milkman, the paperboy, evening TV.